are, ladies and gentlemen, back for the VTuber Wrestling Federation, and we are starting things off with a blast. For those that haven't seen those two preview matches on the YouTube channel, VWF is back. We're back with our Super Show. Our this Super Show was supposed to happen a very long time ago. Didn't happen because of the hiatus that ended up happening. But that's okay. We're back at it here tonight. And as you see from the huge match card here with a lot of text, lots of storylines, lots of action, 13 matches for tonight's event. It's going to be a long night. It is going to be a long night. Trust me. Especially since all of these matches that you see on screen right now, all of the title matches, and all of the last two matches, actually, yes. Basically, every match, with the exception of the ones that do not have titles or a briefcase on the line, will be ladder matches, obviously. We are in for a hell of a night tonight. All of the regular matches that do not have any titles or briefcases on the line are just one-on-one normal matches, or normal matches if they aren't one-on-one, of course. And as you can tell from this list, there is a lot of debuts. We will talk more about these debuts and stuff like that later on into the show because we got a lot to talk about. Every match either has... Everything is special about every one of these matchups, including our first match here, which we will hopefully get into real quick. I say hopefully because I don't know how much scuff's going to be in this game, but hopefully not a lot of scuff. But let's get into our first matchup for tonight, or get set up for the first matchup for tonight. Uruka Fujikura, a former VWA $1 million champion, will be facing off one-on-one against a debuting Project Melody, which will surely be a heck of a matchup nonetheless. Melody is one of... God, how many people are debuting? How many people are debuting in tonight's event alone? And it's not even the full amount of people debuting either. We still have like a couple others that aren't on tonight's show that are brand new to the VWF as well, that you will more likely see in the near or distant future, one of the two. No debuts going on for the next two matches after this first opening contest. The next one would be the two Nijianji EN characters that are in the VWF Men's Tag Team Championship matchup later on tonight. They are taking the spots of their managers that used to hold the Tag Team Gold. That's another storyline too, heading into tonight, is all titles with the exception of the... Actually, it's better to name off which titles were actually vacated for the rework. The VWF Men's World Championship, the VWF Men's Tag Team Championships, they were vacated, and now we'll crown new champions in tonight's event. Whether Nijianji holds on to it as themselves, or whether they will see new tag team champions for the men's. And the World Championship will be determined in a triple threat match between Yagoo, Kuzuha, and Malcolm. Malcolm, of course, was the number one contender for Ritaka's World Championship, and then that ended up not happening until now. Let's set it down. First matchup for tonight: Uruka Fujikura, Project Melody. Let's set it on rings. Let's set it out here. And let's see what happens here. We got a lot. We got a lot of action. We got a lot of action, a lot of storylines. Who knows what's going to happen? We start out with a former $1 million champion. Like I said, 13 total matches. The matchup card will be scrolling on the bottom of the screen in case you miss it. In case you miss it. Which is very, very easy to do in this situation. There's a lot of matches, a lot of storylines, a lot of things that it's going to be hard for me to mention everything tonight. Like I said, it has been months since I last did one of these. Technically, in terms of a stream. One-on-one tonight. No titles on the line. Nothing really, really right now. Everybody is trying to fight for the championships once again, but they have to start basically from the ground up. Everybody has to start from the ground up, except for everybody that's going for the titles already tonight. But Fujikura has some momentum heading forward. Her opponent would like to get the ultimate amount of momentum heading forward. First time in the VWF, we are seeing Project Melody in action. Pretty much every single matchup, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3, have a debuting. Interesting fight coming nonetheless. I'm interested to see what all these debuts have in store for us tonight. We'll be seeing a lot of one-on-one action, so thankfully, with that in mind, we'll be seeing a lot of interesting action. Lots and lots of action here tonight. To start us off, it'll be a former $1 million champion, Fujikura, taking on a debuting Project Melody. Let's see what we got for tonight in our opening contest. VTuber Wrestling Federation has returned, and it's going to start off big. Bell has rung, and we are underway with this one-on-one match. Fujikura starting off, striking. Now the grappling starts. Nice DDT there. Melody quickly back up to her feet. Not for long, though. Fujikura takes her down. Shot to the arm. The way the lighting works, it's going to be hard to see what's going on with a lot of the characters tonight having the same color of attire as the ring canvas. Very bright ring canvas tonight. There's a Michinoku driver. Fujikura at the Melody. Couple shots. Fujikura being a big striker here tonight. And a German suplex there. Definitely a normal style Fujikura match with the striking and the grappling. Shots to the head there. Takes down Melody. Then the knee right to the head. Fujikura looking super strong so far. Definitely what Fujikura needed, because Fujikura, just before the hiatus, was going on a very, very, very downhill spiral, I shall say. Now to the middle of the ring. What's Fujikura going for now? Back to the head. Oh, wait a minute. Showboating a little bit off the ropes. A little bit of the 5-knuckle shuffle, and oh, she missed it! Melody with a reversal. Oh, what an interesting development. There's a scoop slam by Melody. And now she's now she's going off. Off the ropes. Moonsault, and that hits. And a cover. Fujikura quick to kick out of that. Imagine if Melody just won just like that. What an embarrassing way to lose. Now Melody back on offense. She may be calling for it again. Call for it once. Oh, no, not for the moonsault. Actually, no, a moonsault. Just on the other side. So 2 moonsaults, 2 covers. Does it get it a 3 this time? No, it doesn't. Still a 2 count for Melody. Very back and forth so far between the 2 competitors. Very interesting to say the least. Melody off the springboard. Nice little... I don't know if that was a Hurricane Rana, but it was very close. Now Melody hot on offense. Shot to the spine. These matchups are going to take quite some time, especially the ladder matches. So, like I said, we're going to be here for quite a long time, folks. A couple shots. What do we got here? Hurricane Rana. Nice little Hurricane Rana. Now Fujikura back on offense. What do we got here? Back to the middle of the ring. Smart. Get away from the ropes. Go for a cover. Wait a minute. Speaking of that, Melody with a roll-up. And that only gets a 1. Playing possum, but it doesn't work to her advantage. Oh, miss with a strike. Oh, miss with another strike. Back and forth with the strikes. Some of them missing targets. On the ropes. Fujikura striking. Oh, wait a minute. Over the top and out to the floor goes Fujikura. Now we're fighting on the outside. Got to be careful here. In front of the Japanese commentators. Oh, a belly to back suplex there. On the floor, but miss with that. Falls do not count anywhere as we see the referee counting. Back here. Another swing. Down goes Fujikura. They have till the count of 10 to get back inside the ring. Oh, right to the steps. That's gotta hurt. They are able to fight in the crowd at this arena, I do believe. Now back inside the ring. Melody just standing in, possibly trying to take a count of victory. No. Goes back out. Trying to get more offense outside, which is very vital. But that'll hurt. That suplex onto the floor. And now, oh! Little sunset flip there by Fujikura. Got a stomp right to the legs. Doing as much damage as you can on the outside where it hurts. Possibly even more than inside the ring. There's not a lot of padding on the outside. So might as well do as much damage on the outside as you can. Back inside the ring we go. Springboard. Can she hit it? She does. Fujikura with a springboard. A Hurricane Rana. Uh-oh. Attitude adjustment. And Fujikura to the cover. Can that be a 3? Gets a 2. Gets a no. Gets a 2.5. Melody with a nice little kick out there. She'll call for it again. No, Melody. Oh, runs into a drop kick for her efforts. Fujikura dragging her back to the middle of the ring. Where's she going next? Tries to go for the kick, but Melody rolls out. Still stunned a bit, though, but Melody's kind of fighting back. We'll toss to the corner there. Oh, here we go again. Looking for the moonsault once more. She's going to the far end of the ropes. Can she hit it a third? She hits it a third. It goes for a cover. Nope. The rope break, though. That'll stop the count immediately. Clothesline from Fujikura. The rope breaks are going to hurt a lot, especially when you think you got... Oh, I think she was trying to go for the SDF, but she couldn't lock that in. Melody did not want to go down for the SDF. Let's see what do we got here. Oh, another clothesline from Fujikura. And Fuji's going right to the top rope. A very high-risk maneuver here. Can she hit it? She does. Leg drop from the high-risk district. And we'll go for the cover. And almost gets a 3 out of that. Let's just call it for the 5-knuckle shuffle once more. She missed it the first time. She'll try it a second. And hits it. Momentum building for Fujikura. Can she hit what she tried to go for earlier? No! Again, Melody counters the attitude adjustment. The second time she's countered that move. And here she goes again. Very great action so far between these two. And this is only the beginning of this Super Show. Like I said, a Super Show is a Super Show for a reason. We're going to be here for a while. Bam! Thrust kick right to the throat. And a cover. Dead center of the ring. Melody with the win. Woo! What a match. Impressive start. Melody picks up a win in her first ever match here in the VWF. Maybe a show of respect between the two. Big show of respect between the two competitors. Very, very Very great matchup between the two. Definitely. What a way to kick off this event. What a way to kick off Money in the Bank. A great performance between those two. An incredible matchup. Now, let's head on to an even bigger matchup. Not to take anything away from the two competitors. It's just this next matchup here has what the last matchup didn't have, which is a title on the line. Saeki Motonari will be taking on the current VWF TV champion, Saegusa Akina, in a ladder match. Now, Saegusa is one of the only competitors from Renegade that actually has able to keep their titles from the VWA over to the VWF. Now, with that in mind, he's had some pretty tough competitors in the past with Sama-san and Saeki Motonari. Tonight is no different, with Saeki getting another chance to take the VWF TV Championship away from Saegusa Akina. Now, in order to do this, though, they have to get right to the top of a ladder and take the title off of the thing. Now, this is where these matchups are going to take quite some time. It may take a little bit of time before we see any sort of high-octane action, especially as we head deep into the match card, where we will see a Fatal 4-Way ladder match for the $1 Million Championship, and where we will see an 8-man and an 8-woman ladder match to determine the men's and female Money in the Bank holder, which I will talk more about that as we get into those two matchups. But they are a couple hours away. They are hours away for what it's worth, I guess. We got a lot of time to talk about the other 10 matchups beforehand. This one, obviously, the only big stipulation in this matchup is a title. No debuts. These two have been competing for months before tonight. The only other matchup that does not see any sort of debuts is both Reed and PewDiePie, which we will see after this matchup, and Shoto and Simu. Well, technically, they are debuting, although they debuted on YouTube, which is the same situation that we'll see with Fu later on in the Money in the Bank matchup. But let's get our second matchup underway. It is a VWF TV Championship on the line. Saeki Motonari, Saegusa Akina in a ladder match.
The following contest is a ladder match and is for the Classic Intercontinental Television Championship.
A lot of action heading forward tonight. This is the one match type you will see throughout most of tonight, and that is a ladder match. Like Motonari sporting a nice little gimmick here. Nice little new gimmick. Nice little believe gimmick. Nice. A lot of action here tonight and with these ladders. Now, I'm not too certain how long these matches are going to go. I did a test run with some of these ladder matches. One-on-one matches should take too long. It's when the multi-competitor matchups is where we will see a lot more action for a longer period of time. We'll see what happens here tonight. Let's see if Saegusa can retain his television championship and move forward at Renegade with a lot of momentum. Saeki Motonari has a ton of momentum heading forward here tonight, especially coming into tonight. A couple wins under his belt just before the main show here tonight. But he has to go through one of his toughest competitors yet, which is the current television champion. And I don't expect Saegusa to be taking Saeki Motonari very lightly at this very moment. I wouldn't. Motonari has an opportunity here to win this championship, get his first ever taste of gold here in the VWF, And it is very, very likely that he'll have to do it one of his hardest competitions yet. There really ain't much to say about Saegusa that hasn't been said already. Very dangerous, very crazy, very intense, and very, very hard to keep down for long periods of time, which is what you need to do in a ladder match. In a ladder match, you need to have your competitors down for a long period of time. You gotta have the attrition. If you can out-attrition your opponent, you can get the win here tonight. But that is hard to do when your opponent is Saegusa, who is not very known for staying down for long periods of time. And we're about to get this matchup underway. All it takes is just a couple seconds of opportunity up a ladder, and you'll get yourself the television champion. Motonari, Saegusa, ladder match. Our first ladder match of tonight and our first title match of tonight is underway. Now, how long will it take before we see the first ladder introduced into tonight? We'll find out. Expect to see a little bit of mat work here for right now, and then once the ladders start being a factor, Insecurity, what an insecurity. Once the ladders start becoming a factor, which might be no. So knee to the head there. That insecurity really took out Motonari for a second. Probably given enough time to recover. Get back on offense. Nice little throw there. Looking strong. Both competitors being back and forth. Our first title match of tonight. Our first of 6 title matches of tonight. Nice little throw there. And right after this, we'll have another one-on-one match, but it'll just be a regular one-on-one match between Reed and PewDiePie. Those two having a bit of history together, but we'll see that after this matchup. We'll either see a new champion crowned or a champion retaining tonight. Not often we'll see that. Nice little standing suplex there by Motonari. To the top rope. We saw this in the last match. High risk. Misses with the top rope elbow. Now we see our first ladder being introduced for tonight. Not the first time in hell. That'll definitely not be the last. There with the mat work. Almost a DDT onto the ladder. Elbow right to the head. Oh, missed with a choke slam. And now the chops rain in. And now the calf crusher. Saegusa's won with many matchups with that move, but you can't win with that in this matchup. It'll do great damage, don't get me wrong, but it won't do enough damage. Try to grab the ladder, misses. Instead, gets a knee right to the other knee for efforts. Looking for the phenomenal forearm off the top, hits it, and a dash right across the head with the forearm. And now the shots to the arm. Now rain in. Knee right to the head. The head really taking a lot of damage right now. As well as that left arm. That's really not gonna win you matches here tonight with that. But it'll do enough damage to where it'll be tough for Motonari to get the championship off the ladder. Still lots of mat work going on right now. I expect that here for the time being. It looks like Saeki is opened up just a little bit. I'm seeing some color on the head. I think that's the first time in quite some time I've seen blood in the VWA or the VWF for that matter. Couple shots. We're looking for here. Up and stun gun right to the top rope. Oh, face first onto the mat. Once again to the top rope. And this time he'll hit the elbow drop from the top. He'll grab the ladder and he'll place it right in the little sweet spot. May see our first attempt at grabbing the title. For the time being, let's see if anything happens here. Any progress? A little bit of progress. Champion's in trouble slightly, not by long. Not for long. Uh-oh. Oh! Just barely missed a ladder with that power bomb. We'll see the ladder be used as a weapon. No. Not for now. Looking for a power bomb. A sit-out power bomb by Motonari. That takes down the champion for the time being. And he's going right back to the ladder. Except it's not in the right spot. Now it should be. Champion's flat on the ground. Challenger with the opportunity to take advantage. He's getting somewhere. He's almost got it. Oh, now the two competitors fighting on the ladder. Oh! Who goes down first? Do both go down? Suplex. Oh my God! From way high up to way down low. Superplex from the top of the ladder to the outside of the floor. And if that does it, I wouldn't be surprised. The champion. Oh, struggling. Little bit of struggling. There he goes. He may have it here. Looks like he may have it. This would not surprise me one bit if this does it. And it does. The champion retains. Saegusa with the win. What a moment near the end right there. Get a couple replays here. The main one being this last shot right here. The champion retaining. That superplex had to have done it. That had to hurt.
And still, classic Intercontinental Television Champion, Punk.
Good matchup between those two. Saegusa retains. Not a very, very easy feat to come back from, though. Just saying. I mean, that had to hurt, though. I mean, I would not have been surprised if Motonari was going to be down for quite some time after that. Nobody can take a superplex on the top of the ladder and expect to come back real quick. Those are the kind of things that you will see in these kinds of matchups here. The question, though, is, will that be the winning move in every one of these ladder matches? Well, we don't know the answer for that. We won't know for quite some time because right now we aren't worried about another ladder match. Right now we are worried about another one-on-one match between Reed and PewDiePie, two superstars that have had a lot of history here in the VWF. Reed, of course, going for the TV title. PewDiePie as well going for the TV title. We just saw the TV title being retained by Saegusa. Hard to take down that champion, no doubt about that. More likely, the winner of this matchup will have great momentum heading forward as they'll try to take away the TV championship moving forward. Now, the next Renegade Super Show that we'll talk about real quick is, I believe if I remember correctly, that is Bad Blood, if I remember correctly. Maybe Bad Blood, and maybe something else. I know Bad Blood is a Renegade Super Show that is coming up here around the corner, if not the next one. I'll get back on that here in the bit. The next Super Show in general is a Velocity-themed Super Show, which is Double or Nothing, which you will see in the notes down below. Now, with that in mind, there won't be 13 matches for that Super Show, obviously, because there is no way. I don't think we'll have enough matchups and storylines for 13 matchups. I'm not too sure how many will be on there, though. The reason why we have 13 tonight is because this pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, is a Super Show contesting both Renegade and Velocity, which means we'll combine the two, and we'll have... Usually it's 14 matchups, but tonight it's 13. Got a lot of action still left here tonight. Got UltimaX versus PewDiePie coming up in a one-on-one match. Just a normal one-on-one match. Nothing too spectacular between those two. Next up, after this matchup, will be the Men's Tag Team Championship on the line as Nyanners will debut two new people for them. They'll go up against Holostars and Takeshi and Seth from NITRE. But for now, that matchup is next. That matchup is after this upcoming matchup between Reed and a PewDiePie. Just a one-on-one matchup. And we'll take it down back to ringside. Interesting matchup between these two because, like I said before, these two have a ton of history between each other. These two have faced each other quite a few times. Not a lot, but a few times, so they definitely know each other's style. However, with a little bit of a hiatus, let's see if any of them have changed up their style to match up against their opponents. We've seen it earlier. Some styles may change as time rolls on, but as of right now, I've seen a lot of similarities between every single competitor so far. However, that may change here tonight. Lots of action still left here tonight. We had one other one-on-one match here earlier tonight. That was just a normal match, and it was a great matchup. This is the first for Renegade. Momentum shifts are a thing here for title matches in the near future, and this is definitely one of them. PewDiePie contended for the TV title at one point or another back several months ago. Now he has an opportunity to possibly get up there once again for another TV title shot. But Reed hasn't had an opportunity to fight for the titles just quite yet. A win here tonight by Reed. He'll be in the title hunt, no doubt about it. I say that though, but remember, we do have a lot of people who are debuting. It takes a couple losses for Reed and a couple losses by PewDiePie for somebody that is debuting in the near future, if not tonight, going for the TV title, to sneak past them and get a shot at Saegusa's TV title in the near future. Fella's wrong, and we're underway with this one-on-one matchup here between PewDiePie and Reed. Start off in the corner. And a shot. Make it a second and a third chop right to the chest. PewDiePie doing a lot more grappling at the start of this matchup than we saw in the last normal one-on-one match that we saw between Fujikura and Melody, where Melody picked up the win. Now we're seeing shots to the arms, slowly but surely taking away some of the striking power for PewDiePie, which he is known for. Another time up to the top rope. Reed looking for a nice little chop right to the head and hits it. Not much of a high-risk move there because you ain't really throwing all your weight to your opponent. Looking for a pile driver and gets it. Big pile driver right to the top of the head. Oh, missed with the stomp. Oh, PewDiePie tried to go for a tackle. Missed him. Now Reed with the first cover of this matchup. Doesn't even get a one count. Not even close. A shot right to the chest. Off the ropes. Oh, missed with a knee. And PewDiePie may... Oh! PewDiePie hits with a knee. And now the shots right to the head rain down onto Reed. Now the cover for PewDiePie. And he'll get a 2 out of that. Not much more than that for now. A shot right to the head. Very back and forth action so far. Oh, the missed. And a shot right to the head. That may do it. That I have never seen from PewDiePie. And that'll quickly pick up the win for PewDiePie. Wow. The early offense from Reed. Looked like Reed had him there for a second. And then the momentum turned completely with that little knee strike that missed. But PewDiePie hit with the knee, obviously. And the shots to the head rained down for PewDiePie. And then pretty much ever since that running knee strike that hit Reed, Reed was dazed and confused. And then that last shot right to the head after the poison mist. That's what picked up PewDiePie this maybe all-important victory.
Here is your winner, PewDiePie.
Wow. Big win for PewDiePie. A quick pickup victory as well. Reed didn't even stand a chance after the miss. What an incredible showing by PewDiePie. The future looks bright for Mr. Felix. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That is one incredible way to pick up a win. I have never seen PewDiePie whip out the miss like that. That may be new for him. Wow. That was something. All right. Now with that in mind, get a quick match out of the way, and now we may get one of the longer matchups for tonight. Quite a matchup that we got here, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is our second title match for tonight. Tag Team Championships on the line. 3 VTuber agencies going head-to-head for each other. Storyline heading into this matchup here is the reigning Tag Team Champions, the Nijianji managers, have left the VWF, and in their place is 2 Nijianji EN competitors making their debut here tonight. They will technically have a tag team gold because, as of this moment, they'll have it because they are under the Nijianji name. However, they are still taking on Astel and Aru from Holostars, 2 competitors that we are all too familiar with, and they'll also be taking on Takeshi and Seth, also 2 competitors that the VWF is also familiar with. The 2 competitors that will be taking the place of Nijianji's managers, the 2 Nijianji EA competitors, that is a mystery until we get down back to ringside. Definitely a very interesting pairing nonetheless, a very popular pairing nonetheless. We'll keep an eye out for even more Nijianji EN competitors making their way into the VWF mix here within the next couple of weeks. I especially think that this is not the last time we will see new competitors from Nijianji especially coming into the picture. Lots of action here tonight with these ladder matches. Again, this matchup here for the Tag Team Championships, it is a triple threat tag team matchup, so all 6 competitors are in the ring at the same time. And this is a ladder match as well, just like in the TV title match that we just saw not too long ago. Now, will we see Nijianji retain their tag team gold, just like what we saw earlier in the TV title championship? The TV title matchup that we saw earlier with Saegusa picking up the win and retaining his TV championship gold. Will we see Nijianji take home the gold for themselves and retain? I think in the match card, their name is actually misspelled. I think so. I think I was missing the S. My bad. As you can tell, Scuff is a massive thing here for VTubers, so I am not surprised in the slightest that I managed to scuff myself a misspelling. We're waiting for everything to be set up down at ringside here. This will be a chance for both Holostars and NITRE to get their hands on the gold for the 3rd time each. If the 2 competitors from Nijianji EN can hang on to the gold, that would be their 1st time holding on to the gold, technically, as a team. It would be Nijianji's, I think, 2nd time holding the gold in total, I believe. I think actually when they won it back at Invasion, or actually when they won it, I think before Invasion, they actually held on to that gold for the 1st time, if I remember correctly. I believe so. All right. All right, give me 1 second. We'll be ready to get down back at ringside. All right, we're set for this matchup. Let's head down to ringside for tag team action. This is going to be quite interesting, though, because all of our matchups so far tonight have been singles matchups. This is our first tag team match and our first multi-man tag team match. All for the tag team gold. Holostars coming down to the ring with a purpose. Remember that they once held the gold not too long ago. They lost it. And now they're here to fight for it once again. Won't be easy to do because remember, ladder matches are harder to win than any other matchups, in my opinion, in all of wrestling. Not only do you have to deal with your opponents, but you have to deal with 2 different opponents. But you also have to deal with another one from each team. You're dealing with 4 other competitors trying to take you down. This is going to get quite interesting here, no doubt about it. All right, let's see who comes down next. Holostars are in. Is it NITRE or is it Nijianji? Looks like Nijianji's the one that are coming down next. The champions heading into tonight. Our first glimpse at Violetta and Riaz from Nijianji. Their debut tonight here for the VWF. And they have the opportunity to win Nijianji back the gold, the tag team gold. This ladder match here, since it is their debut, it may be one of their specialties. If they win here tonight, it may be their specialty matchup. Our first glimpse at these 2 competitors tonight, we'll see what they bring to the table. But they have their work cut out for them. They got to face not 1 tag team, but 2 tag teams here tonight. Both tag teams that they're facing have held the gold once or twice before. And 1 tag team that's looking to get back that entire gold, bring it back home. Takeshi and Seth marching with a purpose down to the ring. Question being, will they be able to get back the gold that they lost not too long ago? I say not too long ago, but it was quite some time ago. It was back in last year when that happened. That's how long ago it was. It's been a while since the VWF has held any sort of competition. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 6 competitors will fill the ring all at the same time, all for championship glory. 1 tag team's gonna win it all. Who will it be? Nijianji, NITRE, Holostars, all in the ring at the exact same time. If you think it was crazy watching the one-on-one matchup earlier between Saegusa and Motonari, that was a one-on-one match for the TV title. This one, I don't expect to end anytime soon. Even with all 3 teams outside the ring right now, and both ladders already being picked up within minutes of the matchup. Table clutch on the outside of the ring. Seth putting the work on Anu, who fights out. Oh, face first onto the floor. Suplex. Uki with Takeshi. Very, very delayed vertical suplex right next to the announcer's table. And a big suplex. But what's going on inside the ring is the other main storyline here. Ladder being set up. Belly to back on the outside. Mista with a chance to get the... Nope, he had a chance to get the title. Oh, wait a minute. Astel followed him up. Wait a minute. Oh, down goes Astel. Oh, down goes Mista. Astel tipped over the ladder. And a hard fall from Mista. Is it Mista or Mista? I've never figured out how to pronounce that name. In any case, out of the ring. NITRE has had all competitors so far outside the ring so far. And I think Seth is busted open too. I think I see some color on his head. I can't tell. Looks very, very close. Astel is the only Holostar inside the ring right now. Up and down goes Seth. Now everybody's back inside the ring, except for Seth. NITRE and Holostars climbing to the ladder. But Nijianji trying to fight. There's only a spot for 2 teams on that ladder. Takeshi is just being absolutely dismantled from that ladder. They haven't even done anything to Anu. Never mind. He took the worst out of that, in my opinion. That big fall from the top of the ladder. Oh, the back right to the ladder. Seth's taking a lot of speeding right now, both from Anu. And Seth, I can't confirm, is another competitor busted open in this matchup. Ladder has fallen out of the ring, and so has Anu, Seth, and Takeshi. Astel going for a third ladder out of the ring. Interesting strategy. You think 2 ladders is enough. You think 1 ladder is enough for a ladder match. Nope, we got 3. 1 in the ring and 2 on the outside, and make 2 in the ring and 1 on the outside. As Seth brings in a second from the outside. And nails Mr. Right in the head with 1. Seth on top of the ladder. Oh, somebody's busted open. I think that might be Riaz. I'm going to call him Riaz since that's the only part of the name I can think. Uh-oh. A superplex from the top of the ladder. Seth going bye-bye to the floor. He may be up to Takeshi for the time being. The ladder is down. Takeshi, the only person from NITRE right now, just fighting because Seth, that was a hard fall from the top of the ladder. Probably the best thing that Seth could go for right now is to recover on the outside if he isn't completely knocked out, of course. Seth is starting to get back up, though. How the hell is he able to move? I have no idea, but he's fighting. Brock's flash from Otter from the top rope hits Riaz in the middle of the ring. Now Seth put the fight back to Otter. Gets a nice little suplex there. Takeshi chest first onto the mat in the middle of the ring. Almost hit a ladder too. Surprisingly, he didn't. Speaking of a ladder, Astel picks one up. Tries to nail. Hits one of the competitors from Nijianji. I think he tried to hit both. If he do it all he can to fend off against everybody here. I think both competitors from Nijianji are... Nope. No. Wow. That was awesome to watch. Both of them were looking, they were either going to be powerbombed or pile drive driven, but both of them countered into something different. That is interesting. This is what I mean by these ladder matches. They're going to take some time to get done. They are very, very difficult. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when 8 competitors all fighting for one briefcase is going to be like? With 8 competitors fighting in a free-for-all like manner, this matchup, I don't think the Super Show is ever going to end, to be honest. Oh, down goes Takeshi. Takeshi had a chance. I think everybody in this matchup is going to get busted open. I think everybody's busted open at this point. I don't even think it's worth noting. at this point. I think the only person that is not busted open is Adu, but the way he's being handled right now, I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 moves to the head later, he's going to be busted wide open. Belly to back on the outside of the ring. One competitor from each team is inside the ring and out of the ring right now. Now I say that, Adu is back inside the ring, and I think all 6 are going to be back inside the ring. Interesting strategy, nonetheless, to bring 3 in and 3 out. Out goes Seth. Adu's going to follow, and I think... Not too sure what's going to happen right now. I think... And another... What is going on? Astel with a DDT. Nice. I think that was a counter. All this action going on. Oh. Everybody's fanned out. Keshi with a springboard move, and he hits. I think he hit that. I think. Meanwhile, in the ring... Couple shots to the head. It's Nijianji and NITRE battling it out. 1-on-1. For the time being. Somebody got busted open. I think Takeshi was the one that got busted open that time. Seth has a chance to climb a ladder. He's all by himself. And he does. He takes the opportunity to climb. He goes to the top of the ladder. What is he thinking? Seth, what are you doing, man? Oh my God. From the top of the ladder. Now the numbers game starting to catch up. And a couple of other competitors back inside the ring. Whoever oh, damn, what a shot with a ladder. Whoever wins this match, they're going to really need to have to earn it at this point. Adu climb into the ladder. I think I don't know how that ladder fell, to be honest. I think it was either Takeshi or his own teammate brought it down. Gorilla press knee strike on the outside there. Yuki with the... Oh, there's a spinning wizard by Astel. First time I think he's pulled that out. It may be the first time he's pulled that out all day. Make it a second time, one after the other. Literally one after the other. Yuki with a hard fall on the floor on the steps on the outside by Seth. Inside the ring, it's back to one competitor from each team. Because he's trying to kick down the ladder. It did not work. Instead, he will climb the ladder. Oh, I think Astel's going for a ride from the top of the ladder to the floor. No, the mat. Did not fall to the full. You didn't have the same fall that Seth had earlier in the match. Snapmare right there. Takeshi rolls out to recover. But we're seeing a lot of that, which may be the determining factor for a matchup or two here. For a ladder match, especially a multi-competitor. Back suplex there. I don't know which team has the upper hand here in this matchup, because none of them have had an opportunity to really get the upper hand. The competitor from NITRE, a competitor from Holostars, and 2 for Nijianji. It is very difficult for anybody to really get any sort of offense in right now at this point. Nijianji and Holostars inside the ring right now. Gorilla press slam by Yuki and a stomp to the shoulder for Adu. As he rolls to the outside, he'll roll to the top and he'll do a frog splash. And a gorilla press there. Now everybody's back inside the ring with the exception of Astel. Now Takeshi rolls to the outside. And he'll pick up the third ladder and then drop it. Shot to the leg there. Now the ladder's being set up. Does anybody climb it? Takeshi sees what Seth is doing. Takes the opportunity to climb. Can he get the advantage? Oh! Oh, what a reversal. But Takeshi on the ladder. Oh, a first dose of possible winning there. Takeshi brings it down to a third of the way down. About a third of the way through the match, from what I can tell right now. Like I said, these matchups are going to take forever, especially in our two main events for tonight. Oh, what a move. Springboard. Oh, Phoenix splash by Seth. Didn't know he was that athletic. Let's see what's going to be happening here. Off of the ropes. Nice little moves there by Astel. Second ladder inside the ring. Seth pushing Astel out of the way. That ladder that was just put inside the ring just immediately went back to the outside of the ring. Seth trying to grab anything, and he got nothing out of it. That ladder got shoved off. I think so far, I cannot predict the winner of this match. I cannot. The way that everybody's been fighting, it's going to take a lot of teamwork and a lot of things to go right for a certain team in order to win this match. A standing drop kick there. Fighting for the ladder. Shot to Aru. Astel getting out of the ring. Seth with it in the middle. Anybody have a chance to climb it? Seth, and this is going to get a little rough. Astel and Takeshi fight. Off the top of the ladder goes both competitors, and they're laid out. Riaz with a chance to grab it. Nope, he's going to the top of the ladder. Moonsault. Wow. Package pile driver by Takeshi. Crossface chicken wing. Can't win that match like that, but you can sure wear your opponent out like that. Obviously. Takeshi again on top of the ladder. Takeshi again with a little bit of momentum for NITRE. Brings us to the halfway point of this matchup. Somebody's getting those titles very soon. Top rope, frog splash, hits it. Riaz with the ladder. Aru back to the top rope. Riaz goes off of it, realizes that Aru could easily take him down, and he doesn't want to fall again. Standing suplex. Yuki with a chance to grab it. He's got it in hand, but can he get any sort of progress? No, nothing. Pile driver for his efforts. Not a pile driver, sorry, power bomb, and that was on the ladder. Out of the ring goes Seth. Out of the ring goes Astel. One man from each team still left inside the ring. I say that by Aru. Very hotly contested matchup here so far. Seth goes down. Ladder's being placed. Nope, down goes the ladder. Yuki misses with the headbutt. Aru with a power bomb. Under Takeshi. Takes him to the outside. A receipt for his efforts by Yuki. Seth and Astel. Seth is alone. Seth's alone. And he's not going for the titles. He wants the action. Wow. I don't know if I like that strategy. Because look at Riaz. There he is at the top. Oh, that got close. NITRE looking on. Oh. By Astel, and down goes Riaz. This is getting very intense, though, because one of these competitors has a shot to win it. At this point, Yuki to the top of the ladder. Trying to grab it. Can he grab it? Everybody trying to screw him up, and no effort whatsoever. Down goes Yuki, and Nijianji down on the mat once more. Oh, a springboard. Right to the back of Rihez. I don't think Takeshi meant for that to happen, but he managed to fly over top of his partner and his opponent and managed to hit something quite incredible. Seth going for here. Oh, face first onto the mat. A lot of action so far. The ladder's being used quite a bit. Oh, Takeshi with a hard fall there. Moving, going around. Astel using the ladder as more as a weapon and not used as a base for the operation at hand, which is for the Tag Team Championships. Takeshi, who has had all of the offense so far for the objective of this match, he's back at top. Not for long, though. I tell you, the fact that Takeshi has been doing so well for this matchup, objectively, I would not be surprised if NITRE ends up taking the win here. I may have jinxed that, but I mean, Takeshi's done so much objective work in this matchup, it's insane. Seth back to the top, and he's going to try his hand at it. Any sort of progress? Yep, there's one. He got something. Oh, but he didn't get much. Oh, that knee right to the head. All it's going to take is just enough time for him to unhook it 3 more times, and they may have themselves a title. Takeshi's still down and out. All 3 teams technically in the matchup, in the ring. A lot of jockeying for offense here. No, I can't really... It's a lot of sloppy offense work so far in this matchup. I shouldn't be surprised. It has been months since these competitors have even set foot inside a wrestling ring. Snake eyes to the top rope there for Seth for his efforts. Out of the ring goes Takeshi. Those shots to the head rain down. Who will be the next to climb the ladder? I think Yuki's going and Astel's going. Oh, this is going to get interesting. RKO for the... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I did not see that coming. Oh, my God. I really did not see that coming. Standing moonsault by Astel and a frog. That misses. A frog splash that did not connect to Seth. We have, remember, there are 3 ladders in this matchup. I see them all in frame still. One on the far left, one in the middle of the ring, and one right where Takeshi and Riaz are fighting. Astel climbing. His partner taking the brunt of any sort of damage. Astel with a chance to win it. Oh, that shot's going to distract him. He may get... Does he get anything? He gets nothing. Whoa. That title is all over the place right now. Astel got a little... He's dazed and confused, but he's still on the ladder. He's still up there. He goes down, though. I think understandably so. He is quite in a predicament, and so is Seth. Oh, he held on. Didn't take much of a fall, but still took a fall nonetheless. I am surprised. This matchup has been insane. The shots rain down onto Astel. The underhook suplex. So far, still in this matchup, there are 8 ways to unhook this the title. All of them so far, we still have 3 more to go. All of them have been from NITRE. All of them have been from NITRE so far. NITRE's doing all of the work so far. It only comes down to which team can take the advantage for the last 3. NITRE and Nijianji onto the ladder. Who comes out on top on that battle? There's a gorilla press and a moonsault from Seth. Meanwhile, back in the ring, they're still fighting it out. Superplex. I think both are going down. Yes, they are. Down to the mat. Both of them. They're really liking to do some of these moves that take them from the top to the bottom of the ladder. But the problem is that doing so takes them down too. I have not seen many opportunities for competitors to grab the title after those moves. The second ladder's been introduced into the ring. Out of the ring goes Yuki. Let's... Oh, big Phoenix splash that did not connect. I think Yuki is now busted open. I think he was literally the only other person that was not busted open, and now he is. Wow, holy shit. SL to the top of the ladder. Does he get anywhere? 2. Down to 2. Holostars with the upper hand. But for how long? Uh-oh. White noise. Oh my god! They disappeared off frame with that move. Seth alone! Seth is alone! Not for long! Can he get it? One more! Can he get it? No! That close! That close! It comes down to whoever can touch it. Whoever can grab the title next may win it. Holy hell, we're nearing the end of this matchup. Nijianji has not had a chance to touch the title for that long in this matchup. Moonsault from the top rope. That hits. What a move. Great move. Oh, what a counter. This is where things get intense. Now everybody's going to be dumping their opponents to the outside. Give time for them to climb a ladder and grab it. Holostars, NITRE in the ring. Good move there. Seth back in the ring. Help out his partner. 2-on-1, 2-on-2. This time, Holostars versus NITRE. Both ladders about to head to the outside there, which would be very detrimental to the objective of this match. Springboard Itsugiri from Takeshi. Kind of hits. Doesn't get all of it. Yuki trying to help out his team. And he will in a big way. Throws one of his opponents to the outside. Takeshi. Both of his opponents in the ring. Dazed, confused. Nowhere to be found. But nobody's climbing that ladder. A great golden opportunity for somebody to win the tag team titles. Package pile driver to Astel. Takeshi with a chance. Takeshi. Who's going to the ladder? Who's going to the ladder? It's going to be Riaz. Riaz looking for the win. He can do it. Nijianji. They haven't had any success all day today in this match. Nothing. They'll get nothing out of it. Down he goes. Ladder's moving. Probably out of range. Who knows? One of these 3 tag teams. They're going to have tag team gold here in just about a couple minutes, I assume. Nijianji, NITRE. No, Nijianji and Holostars to the top. And another RKO from the top to the bottom. Knocking out Yuki in the process. Holostars, Nijianji. Standing moonsault, that connects. Actually, that was a springboard moonsault, but who's counting? Takeshi from NITRE back in the ring. He will use the ladder as a weapon, knocking down both opponents. Takeshi sets up the ladder. Is it in range? Does he have it where he needs it to be? He goes to the tip top. Probably out of range. Probably a good move. But he takes a hard fall for his efforts. I'd at least attempt to grab the title. You are right at hands right there with that title. But it's okay. All 6 competitors back inside the ring. There goes a ladder. Irrelevant in this case right now because we still have one more left in the ring. Out goes somebody from Nijianji. That was Yuki. Out goes somebody from NITRE. That was Seth. One competitor from each team still inside the ring, though. Seth takes a ladder from the outside and brings it to the inside. All right, interesting to say the least. That moonsault there from Astel, one that was used earlier by Project Melody in her victory against Fujikura in the opening. Anu is the only person out of the ring right now for the time being. I don't know if that'll stay like that for long. And for long, I mean like 3 seconds, as now it's one competitor from each team back inside the ring. As Takeshi rolls back inside the ring, that immediately became an outdated thing for me to say. Takeshi sets up the ladder, dead center of the ring, climbs it. Does he have time? No, he doesn't. Probably out of range. If it's just slightly out of range, it's probably not worth grabbing. Yuki, though, he may have it. Yuki! Oh, smart move by Takeshi. Get to the other side of the ladder. Both competitors were going to fall to the bottom anyway, so that kind of saved about like 5 seconds right there for both competitors. Nijianji, I'm waiting for the moment that Nijianji grabs it and retains at this point. They have an opportunity. Both competitors from that team in the ring, both with ladders, both standing straight up. I think they got it. I think they got it. Riaz to the top, and he gets it. Nijianji wins. They retain. What a fucking match. Nijianji didn't have a sliver of hope heading into the second half of this match. All the work was done from Holostars and NITRE. It came to the final seconds of that match. I kind of called it too, and that was an incredible way to win the match.
The All-Star Eastern Tag Team Champions.
Woo!
The Awesome Ones.
Bruised, battered, but man, are they excited to hold that gold again. Wow. Nijianji wins. What a fucking match. Wow. What a goddamn match. I'm just saying, what a match. What a match. Wow. Woo! We're going to see that again here not too long later. I don't know how to say that right. As we will have 3 tag teams compete for the women's tag team titles just after this next singles matchup here between 2 competitors that were fighting for the final spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Shoto taking on Simu. These 2 competitors were fighting for the triple threat match against Fu to battle off in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Unfortunately, both of these competitors were on the losing front of that said matchup. Technically not debuting in the VWF as they debuted in that matchup on YouTube. Could I just say, before we get into this next matchup here, all competitors that have that little debut tag listed, you can kind of count Nijianji, the team of Yuki and Riaz, onto that mix because they debuted here not too long ago. Just moments ago, I should say. Both of them have won. Project Melody won in her matchup against Fujikura. And Nijianji with Yuki and Riaz debuting in the tag team matchup that we just witnessed, won that matchup. The next debutee out of everybody here tonight, other than Shoto and Simu, will be Rin, as she will have a triple threat match between Hana and Pikamee later on. No titles on the line in that one. That'll be the only multi-competitor matchup that doesn't have any titles or any briefcases on the line. Right now, let's take it down to another singles match while we take a breather from a chaotic tag team match. These two competitors here were in a triple threat match against Fu to determine the last competitor in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match that we'll see very, very, very later on in this show. Unfortunately, Simu and his opponent, Shoto, were unfortunately on the losing end of that triple threat matchup. And this contest, again, just a normal contest. No ladders involved in this one, unless if they want to bring it out for themselves, but that is to be determined. We've had some incredibly quick and fast-paced one-on-one matchups. Project Melody picking up a win over Fujikura in her debut in a very, very back-and-forth one-on-one match. And then PewDiePie pick up the win over UltimaX in a quick matchup, a very quick matchup. So we'll see where this falls in line here tonight, because we've seen both a fast-paced match and a back-and-forth match. We'll see if Simu and Shoto can put on a performance worthy of one of those two spots, or somewhere in the middle. You never know. It's going to be very, 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 very hotly contested between these two. You know that these two are definitely having their heads down at the moment because of the fact that they lost one of the, probably the only opportunity, maybe the only opportunity, I doubt it. Well, for now, we'll say the only opportunity for a world championship shot. Both competitors fighting for the world championship. Both competitors in a triple threat match. Both competitors losing in that triple threat match. With the winner of that match going on in the Money in the Bank ladder match that we will see later on tonight. However, a win here tonight by either one put them back into where they need to be. Good little one-on-one contest here between Simulanze and Shoto. And it's going on right now. Bell has rung. Start with some grappling. Some grappling to start things off here. Very, very different between the first two matchups that we saw. Elbow right to the forearm, I should say, right to the top of the head. And now raking on the head. We got a dose of what these two can do and what these two can bring to the table here during that matchup. Springboard moonsault, that misses. Shoto with offense. Kick to the spine to start things off. Shoto with a springboard moonsault, and he'll hit his mark. Unlike Simu. Deadlift gorilla press. Wow. Delayed deadlift gorilla press. Simu falls down on this chest. Shoto going to the top rope. He'll think twice about it. Smart move. Back with the offense. Back and forth. Very back and forth between these two for right now. And a power slam from Simu takes down Shoto. Right now wrenching on the arm, trying to hyperextend it. And do so on the other arm. And Shoto will fight out of that last one. And he'll get some offense in. Out of the ring goes Simu. And now we're fighting on the outside. Stop right to the shoulder. Might get another deadlift gorilla press. Try to take all the time in the world that you can. Oh, that was a harder fall than it was on the inside of the ring, not gonna lie. Shoto planning his next move, which will be inside the ring. Simu taking a little bit of time to recover. Goes right back on the offense, goes Shoto. Nope, Simu takes back on offense. Missile chop there. Tries to get a third, misses. T-bone exploder. Takes down Simu. Shoto with the offense still. Oh, big uppercut. That'll take down Simu for the time being. I think we might see a cover here for Shoto. No, Simu will counter that attempt. Simu once again back on the strikes. Big shot to the side of the head. Simu is one strikeful motherfucker. There's a clothesline. And a miss with a second. Simu just loves to hit with those strikes. Very MMA-like style moveset that he's got. Shoto to the top. Shoto likes to do the Showtime stuff. And he gets a huge Hurricane Rana from the top. Aw. Simu again with the strikes, the kicks, the slaps. Everything but some hits on the marks. Now, right to the corner of the ring. Back inside the ring goes Shoto. Showboat as always. A showboat in Shoto. Shoto looking really strong so far in the early going. Grappling does everything for you here in this industry. Little stomp to the chest there. Simu really not using as much of the grappling as more so the strikes. Oh, that'll ring the bell. Now back trying to wear out Shoto. Now Simu back inside the ring. Out of 5. Simu taking some time to rest, recover. Not a bad idea. Oh, shot to the ref. Gotta be careful not to get yourself disqualified with that kind of move. Oh, big clothesline right to Shoto. Knocking the wind out of him. Grapple. Not often we'll see Simu grapple from what I'm seeing. Big clothesline from hell. Simu with a cover. That might do it. No, it does not. 2 3/4. That'll be as close as you can get. Oh, missed with the Harlem Axe kick. Now Shoto. Looking for what I believe to be the Showtime stunner. Got it. To the cover. Will it do? Ew, that will not do. Simu kicks out. And will reverse a hit. Come back with a few strikes of his own. Gets something from that springboard. Not much, but enough to put down Shoto for the time being. Back to hyperextending the elbow once more. Now the shot's right to the head. Oh, and I think Shoto's busted open again. And hits with a Harlem Axe kick. Oh, this rivalry is a rivalry in the making. The way that just happened. Does Simu get it? No. Shoto survives. But for how long? No, miss with the other clothesline. That probably would have done it. Instead, Shoto looking for the starter once more. And that'll do. Ball game. Shoto wins. Pretty academic at that. Bloodied up. Shoto is the winner. Simu, maybe a show of respect. We saw this earlier between Fujikura, Project Melody. A little bit of respect. There we go. Shoto with the win. His first win in the VWF. Good start for him. He'll have an opportunity to maybe fight for a championship at some point in the future. It's a very, very hotly contested pool for the titles here in the VWF, especially on Renegade. But let's turn over to Velocity for a moment. And let's get into tag team action. We saw tag team action just moments ago, not too long ago, between three teams fighting for the tag team championships. Let's do it all over again, but this time let's do it for Velocity, as we got three teams from Velocity fighting for women's tag team gold. Storyline is just about the same, if not slightly different, between this and the men's tag team championship matchup that we saw earlier on. However, instead of 3 agencies, it'll be more so 2 agencies and a group. As we have NITRE, the current reigning and defending VWF Women's Tag Team Championships. Sonya and Kylia taking on Angelina Kumalo and Vivian Voss from 4V. Taking on Artemis and Rin. 3 teams, all looking for tag team gold. This will be 4V's, I believe, second shot at the tag team championships. I think they had an opportunity to get them once before and they failed. I think they even tried to get them at Invasion, if I remember correctly. I think one of these teams tried to get them back at Invasion, which was the last Super Show that we had before this, but failed to win over NITRE. I think if I remember correctly, it was 4V, if I remember. I may be wrong. Obviously, I may be wrong. But in this contest, it is just as the same as the last VWF title match that we had, which was for the Men's Tag Team Championships. 3 teams, 6 competitors inside the ring at the exact same time. The objective of this match is to climb a ladder and grab the titles. It's not going to be very, very action-packed at the beginning, because it's just going to be as similar as we just saw earlier. It's not going to be as action-packed because of the fact that they're going to try and inflict as much damage as possible and try to objectively stay away from the ladders for the time being. The second half of this matchup, though, is going to be very chaotic, I do believe. If it's anything like what we witnessed in the men's tag team matchup not too long ago, oh my god, we are in for a hell of a treat. Now, this is even bigger. I believe, in my opinion, this is even bigger because the Women Tag Team Championships will also be defended at Double or Nothing here in a few weeks' time. I say 2 weeks' time, but we have to go through 2 weeks of Renegade and Velocity, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to do 2 weeks. It'll probably be about a few weeks' time, but it'll definitely be at some point. It's going to be very chaotic nonetheless. All titles so far in this show have been successfully defended. Saegusa successfully defended his TV title in a ladder match against Motonari, which we saw earlier. And our last championship matchup was the men's tag team matchup. We saw Nijianji hold on to the gold with 2 new competitors holding on to that gold. If you want to say they retained, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say they retained because even though they were 2 new competitors holding on to the gold and they replaced the current tag team, the old tag team champions, it was still underneath the Nijianji name. So technically, they just switched who was fighting for the tag team gold. So they technically retained their titles against the Holostars and NITRE. Curious to see where that goes moving forward. Now we have the women's tag team match coming up next, and this is where we will start to see less and less singles action for titles and more multi-competitor matchups. Because the next matchup for a title is the $1 Million Championship, which will be contested in a fatal 4-way. between Nyanners, FeFe, Ibi, and Snuffy, the current $1 million champion. Then after that will be the Men's World Championship contested in a triple threat, and the same thing will go with the Women's World Championship. Then after that, we have ourselves the Money in the Bank ladder matches. But for now, in order for us to get through all of those other title matches, we have to get through our current title match that we have to get through. The VWF Women's Tag Team Championship contested in a ladder match. The reigning and defending tag team champions heading into tonight, Kylia and Sonya. They'll be going up against two teams that are trying to get gold for the first time. There's only been 2 tag team champions in all of Velocity. Tonight, we may have an opportunity to see if somebody will get their first tag team reign. Vivian Voss, Angelina Kumalo from 4V have never held the gold. Artemis, Rin, they've never held the gold. They fought for it till losing efforts. Only 2 tag teams have held the gold here in the VWF for the women's division. Those 2 tag teams, NITRE and VShojo. VShojo picked up a win earlier tonight with a win from Project Melody in her debut. The others, Zen and Vebe, they are still in the VWF, but they are not competing tonight. As we await the next tag team, the Arrival. It looks like NITRE is the one that's arriving next up, the reigning and defending tag team champions. Interesting duo nonetheless. They've defended the gold quite well, but they have to go through 2 more tag teams in a very, very, very hard match type in a ladder match. Things are going to get very, very, very interesting here in the next couple of minutes. We'll see what happens here between these 2. And like I said, the first half of this match may not be super action-packed, objectively. The objective of this match is to climb that ladder, grab that title, and pray that you don't fall from the top of that ladder. Saw that quite a lot in the men's matchup earlier. The deck is stacked against NITRE in this matchup, just like in the men's tag team match. We'll see what happens here as a new challenger arises for the tag team gold. It's going to be difficult to say who will have the advantage here because all tag teams really have an advantage in this matchup. I mean, just look at the men's tag team match that we just had earlier, for example. NITRE and Holostars really had that match won, and then Nijianji came out from out of nowhere and snatched the gold right underneath the other 2 tag teams. All they gotta do is just be there when the time is right, which is right at the end of the match. Artemis, Rin, all they gotta do is just be there when the time is right, and they'll have their shot at tag team gold for the first time in their tag team lifespan. The same can be said for Angelina and Vivian. All they got to do is be there when the time is right, and they'll have gold for the first time in their tag team lifespan. It is a 1 out of 3 chance that we will have another tag team successfully retain and defend their tag team gold. All that's left to find out which team will be there at the end to score the win. Bell is wrong and we are underway. This is going to be very action-packed. No doubt about it. How long will it be until we get a ladder introduced, though? Well, 3 competitors have gone to the outside. It is less than a minute. Oh, Aaliyah got accented on the outside, though. Less than a minute before the first ladder was introduced outside the ring. Let's see how long it'll take before it gets inside the ring. There's a clothesline from Kamalo. Vivian with a deadlift. Slam on the outside. Makes it a second. Looks for a third. And gets it. Sanya and Rin, the only 2 competitors inside the ring. However, no ladder in sight. Vivian changes that. Now a bunch of competitors are filing back inside the ring. Tilt-a-whirl power slam by Sanya onto Artemis. And 2-on-1 situation inside the ring. The 2-on-1 situation here. Everybody jockeying for offense. Vivian looking really good so far. A lot of offense so far onto Artemis. A rake across the head there on the shoe of Sanya. Across Rin. And the shot to the head. Stomp to the gut of Artemis. Simply put it, this matchup brings up the chaos side of the VWF. Out goes Kylia. Everybody is outside the ring. There's a rake across the head again. Angelina all by herself. First opportunity of the match for a ladder for the title. There's some objective offense there. Not for long. But 4V strikes first objectively. Down goes Kylia off the top of the ladder, but Sanya right there for her partner to help out. Sanya to the top of the ladder. Down goes Angelina, but Rin is right there to capitalize. And down goes Sanya off the ladder. Everybody's fighting for the spot on the ladder. Down goes the ladder. Not the best strategy between the teammates of 4V, but you'll see that a lot. Oh, Angelina gonna take both of her opponents out at the exact same time. Spike suplex drops Vivian right on top of her neck. Angelina almost followed her partner to the outside. That'll be Rin falling to the outside, and Sanya will follow. One competitor from each team inside the ring at this very moment. Angelina looking inside the ring, probably just using the opportunity to rest, recover. Very smart idea, very smart idea. Now she'll go to what's going on in the outside of the ring for action, and a spine buster to Rin on the outside. Vivian looking to deadlift Artemis into a gorilla press, it looks like. We saw this in the last match with Shoto and Simulanze. And that's a slam right to the mat, and down goes Vivian as Kylia uses the ladder as a weapon. Artemis with the ladder. Gonna set it up in the middle of the ring. Now Artemis with a chance to maybe get something objectively done for her team. Probably not. Yeah, nope. Nothing will come out of that. Action's going on everywhere in this building. Outside the ring and inside it, you can look anywhere you want and you'll find yourself some action. Unless you're looking in the crowd where there is no action. Vivian with a counter from the suplex, but Sanya will do a suplex of her own from the backside. A competitor from each team back in it. Out goes Kylia. So that's 4v versus the team of Artemis and Rin on the inside of the ring. Rin will climb to the top of the ladder, but without her partner trying to have any sort of defense is kind of difficult when you got 3 opponents surrounding you like a pack of rabid dogs. Oh, big face buster there by Kylia. Out of the ring goes Vivian. Out of the ring goes everybody. Sonya's all alone, but she is face down in the ring. Now it's Angelina with a chance to get something done. Oh. Hammer clutch on the outside. Kylia with Vivian. Oh. She'll fight out of that. Rin with a... Anything done? Can she get anything objectively done? She cannot. And she's taking off her dear life at the top there. I don't think Artemis knows what's going on. Oh, there she goes. Now she falls. The only one that's done anything objectively so far, team-wise, is 4v. Angelina with a bit of opportunity for the goal. Break on the back from Artemis to Sonya. Another back suplex. Outside of the ring, Vivian is going nuts on Kylia, but she'll reverse that move. Nope. Vivian back on the strike in offense. And a package powerbomb there. Inside the ring, Rin and Artemis look very strong so far, and the numbers game between between them two, Sonya. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. We got a battle on the ladder. Oh, 2-on-1 assault by both Artemis and Rin. That'll definitely not work in Sonya's favor. Angelina, though, from behind. Yeah, I was going to say, Rin probably not the best. Oh, there's a side kick. Actually, that was an axe kick from Angelina. Now, speaking of that, that's the side kick. All 6 back in the ring. Well, out goes Rin. Out goes Kumalo. Artemis missed with that forearm, the springboard forearm. And we got 2 ladders inside the ring. Could be worse. We could have 3 in the ring at the exact same time for some reason, like we had in the men's matchup. Kylia rolls to the outside to recover. Oh, big shot with the ladder. Once again, Rin and Artemis look very strong so far. Those two have really good chemistry together. They are almost always inside the ring together. Out goes Vivian. DDT 2-on-1 assault. The Sonya. Trying to take down the champion. Sonya trying to fight. But to no avail. It is a straight up 2-on-1 assault for anybody that stands in the wake of both Artemis and Rin. They look really strong so far in the early going offensively. Couple kicks there. Out goes Sonya. Now Rin will follow. No, once again, Rin and Artemis sticking together inside the ring. Very smart between these two, by the way. Very smart strategy between these competitors. Rin to the top of the ladder. Angelina to the top of the ladder. We got objectively the offense going for her team earlier in the matchup. She won't get it this time. Powerbomb off of it. Down goes the ladder for some reason. May have been the win. Spike DDT there. Still a lot of action left in this pay-per-view, obviously. Rin looking to set up the ladder. He will climb up. Anything happen right now? Oh my god. Chaos. Oh, down goes everybody. I think Artemis took out her own partner doing that. That's back on the 2-on-1 assault. Nope, never mind. Well, actually, oh. Back first into the corner. Sanya putting all of her weight onto Rin right there with that cannonball. Now it's just two of Rin and Sanya inside the ring. Oh. Knees right to the throat. All the action going on inside the ring. Outside the ring, I should say. And another one. A lot of action going on right now, but nothing objectively going on. That's why I'm saying, like, the second half, objectively, is when this matchup will get very interesting. Gotta be careful, though, with that ladder about to pop outside the ring. You don't want that to happen. You always want to have at least one inside the ring. Kylie about to maybe take the climb up? No. Vivian's the one that takes the climb up and then takes the climb down. Kylie climbs up. Doesn't get anything objectively on that one, but a powerbomb onto the ladder for her efforts. Shot right to the head. Vivian goes down. Sanya trying to clear the ring out. I mean, that's the best strategy you can do. Clear the ring out, and the less superstars inside the ring, the better it is to get any sort of objective progress. Out of the ring goes Rin. Artemis standing in wait. Don't know why she's not going for the ladder. Her opponents are clearly distracted. Oh, they're working together? What the hell? That was interesting. A temporary tag team between the two of Vivian and Artemis. We'll get something going objectively for her team. Wow, best possible scenario for Artemis right now. And her team. She may do it. Oh, she won't. What the hell just happened? That was insane. The ring cleared out for Artemis thanks to her own teammate. Now all of a sudden it's gotten down to the point where if anybody can get onto the ladder and do anything, they may win it. The ladder's going all over the place except being set up in the middle of the ring. Out goes Angelina. No, wait, she stays tall. Now back in the ring, forcefully inside the ring. I would say, objectively right now, NITRE is at a very bad... Oh my god, Kylia just brought out the third ladder. I just witnessed that before this cut to a jumping tombstone by Rin. Well, we're going to have 3 ladders inside the ring at the same time. Yep. Oh my god. Rin by herself inside the ring for time being. She notices Sonya's still on the ropes. Single leg Boston Crab on the outside. I'm not too sure what's going on the inside. Wrenching on the leg of Kylia. Cut back inside the ring, and we see a tombstone by Rin. That'll give her ample opportunity to climb that ladder and get the titles. Everybody's distracted on the outside. Sonya's down and out. We may have new tag team champions, and we... No! That close. Oh, Rin took the worst of that. Back first on the ladder, but she gets up. Vivian to the ladder. But she'll take a fall for her efforts. It comes down to who can get it last. Just shot right there with the ladder. Oh. Can anybody get on the ladder? This may be it. Oh, the ladder falls just at the wrong time for Sonya. NITRE versus Artemis and Rin. What can these two teams do? Now 4V starting to recover and get back into the thick of things. 3 ladders inside the ring. It's making things pretty chaotic between everybody. NITRE's out. Oh, shit. Artemis sees what's going on. Takes the opportunity. Can she do it? Can she do it? She's... Barely did Vivian get there in time. Let's take a leg Boston Crab. Sitting out. Kylia has to fight out somehow. Vivian all by herself inside the ring. With Rin out of the way. I'm wondering what's going on. Okay, Vivian just setting it up in a better spot. Can 4V win their first tag team gold? Can they get it? Yes, they do! 4V wins their first tag team champion. Wow. Our first title change of tonight. And it comes at the expense of NITRE again.
Here are your winners and the new Women's Tag Team Champions.
Absolute insane matchup there, especially near the end. Definitely an incredible matchup between all 3 teams. A lot quicker than the last tag team match that we had. 4V wins their first tag team championships. We'll see how things work out for them in their future. Especially at Double or Nothing, where they're probably going to have to defend it once more at some point. At least I think they may have to. Let's get up to another matchup here. Another Velocity matchup. A triple threat matchup. Everybody in this matchup with some history between each other, with the only exception. We're going to have a debut in this matchup. This matchup, we have Hana, who is a former VWF Women's World Champion. Fun fact. Taking on Pikamee, a contender, a former $1 million championship contender. Fun fact. Taking on a debuting Rin Mitsumono. This contest, this is the only matchup where falls will count anywhere. In this matchup, falls do count anywhere. In this triple threat match. It's the only matchup that is on the card where if it doesn't have a title or a briefcase on the line, it is a one-on-one match. That is not the case. In this matchup, nothing's on the line, except pride, of course. And it is a triple threat match between 3 competitors, one of them debuting. We've had an insane amount of luck, good luck for people who are debuting here tonight. Literally everybody that has debuted has won their matchups. So far, so good. Project Melody debuted earlier tonight, and she won her matchup. The duo, I should say, of Yuki and Riaz for Nijianji won. Nijianji back the tag team gold earlier in the matchup. And this will be Rid's first matchup. Then after this, we'll still have... the luck is going to run out eventually, because especially right after the $1 million title match, which we'll have after this triple threat match, we'll have 2 people who are debuting for the first time, competing one-on-one. So one of them is not going to have the debut luck as others had. But it's still going to be a debut win no matter what in that contest. And this ain't the last time we will see a triple threat match either, because just after this matchup and the Fatal 4-Way match and the one-on-one match between Vin and Charlie, we'll have 2 triple threat matchups for the World Tag Team titles. For the World titles, I should say. Not Tag Team titles, World titles. As it'll be Yagoo, Kuzuha, and Malcolm taking on each other for the Men's World Championship. And then a debuting Rissa, a debuting Suzuki Suzu, taking on the World Champion Kuroba Plant. Very strong couple of matchups here. We are almost, actually we are halfway through this event. We are 2 hours into this event, we're only halfway done. Unfucking-leavable. Triple threat action, let's set it on the ringside. Keep in mind, both competitors in this matchup may not have history with each other, but for the VWF, they have history as a whole. Former world champion, the first women's world champion. Won it in a battle royale on the debut episode of Velocity. Lost it to Plant, and has been looking to regain that power ever since. All she has to do is just really win this triple threat match, which is very possible. Excited to see what's going to happen in this matchup, because one of the biggest storylines in this matchup is the fact that we have a debut here, which we will see momentarily. Here she comes. First time peeping a look at Rin Mitsumono here in the VWF. And once again, the luck has been exceptionally well for those that have been debuted. Project Melody winning her matchup against Fujikura in her debut. And like I said earlier, the tag team matchup for the Men's Tag Team Championship. Mistian and Uki taking home the gold for Nijianji. We'll see if Rin can keep up that pace. It is a bit harder to do in this matchup because it is a triple threat match. We'll see what she'll got. We'll see what Rin's got for the table here tonight. Gonna get very interesting here, no doubt about it. A win here tonight by any one of these 3 competitors, you know that especially if it's a pretty dominant win, they will have their shot at a championship of their choosing soon. They gotta go through 2 other opponents. Things are going to get very interesting here. Pikamee, a former $1 million championship contender. Not a champion. Hasn't held the gold once yet, but she'll be very close to at some point. If she can keep up the momentum. I'm more so curious to see what Rin's moveset is like. See what she'll bring to the... Like I said, we'll see what she'll bring to the table in terms of the moves. Remember, in this matchup, falls do count anywhere, so... It's like one of the only special matchups we'll have that doesn't include any sort of titles or anything on the line. Former world champion, a debuting Rin, and a former $1 million contender. Triple threat, falls count anywhere. Rin letting Pikamee do some of the action first. They'll team up on Hana. And now with Pikamee back turned, Rin takes the advantage. Oh! Springboard elbow. Rin's looking really good on offense so far. But I think that'll come back to bite her right now. Pikamee on the top rope. Oh, what a DDT by Hana. Now Rin back on offense. Oh, back turn. Pikamee now. Nice little move there. I'll take down Rin. Pikamee over to the corner. Hana with a few shots to the chest. Nice little take down there. Hana standing tall so far. Now back on offense. Rin is possibly going to be one of the shortest competitors in all of Velocity, so the size disadvantage may come against Rin a lot. Against Pikamee, probably not much, but she's still got some size difference between those two still. You put up Rin against somebody like Hana, it is almost like a giant versus a midget. Remember, falls do count anywhere, so even if they do go outside the ring, they can still pick up the fall. Oh, leg drop from the springboard. Pikamee allowing Hana and Rin to both take each other out, wear them both down, which is a nice strategy. In this triple threat matchup, a very good and bold strategy, but now Hana turns her attention towards Pikamee. Pikamee was not ready for that. Oh, Rin takes over. Got some offense. Shot to the back. Where's she going? Top rope. Look out for Pikamee. Oh, she saw that one coming. And gets her with a drop kick. And also takes down Hana too. Rin looking good so far on offense, taking out both competitors, and out goes Pikamee. Turns her attention back to Hana. Hurricane Rana there. And a cover for Rin. Can she spoil the party? Nope, that's a 1. What a way it would be to win against 2 championship contenders and a former world champion. What a way to debut. Rin allowing Hana to take over control against Pikamee and gets back on control on top of Hana. Let's see, arm down. The numbers game, though, unfortunately, will catch up against somebody at some point. And right now, for momentarily, it went to Rin. Oh, who's on offense now? Oh, Rin. Boom, a 2-for-1 deal for Rin on offense. Onto the middle rope, onto the top rope, moonsault, run onto the back. And to cover. Obviously, Pikamee's not going to allow that to happen. Ooh! Ankle lock. Ankle lock. The Pikamee tap. Hana's able to bring it up just in the nick of time. Oh! Hana able to reverse it that time. Shot to the leg. Oh. Shot right to the head. A Pele kick. Pikamee's still down, but may not be out for too long. But Hana's really getting on offense. Just constantly dropping those elbow blows right to Rin. Shot to the midsection. Shot to the stomach. Pikamee. Little DDT. Oh, Rin with a counter. Now Rin with the strikes. The Rin with the kicks. The Rin. Oh, Hana. German suplex from behind. Electric chair drop. Hana with a cover. Rin able to break it up. Rin counters whatever Hana was going for. Face first, once again, down goes Hana. Standing moonsault. And a big Phoenix splash from the middle rope. Shot to the head, Rin. Oh, looking good for a moment, momentarily. Oh, wait a minute. May have spoke too soon. Now, back with the DDT. Hana from behind. Out of the ring goes Rin. Smart move by Hana. Take out the biggest threat possibly in this entire match. And a big kick to the head to Pikamee. Maybe down, maybe out. She is. What a strategy by Hana. God damn, Hana's really good at this, isn't she? Right into the throat of Pikamee. Rin not able to get her in time.
The Tornado. AK-47.
That's a former world champion for you right there. And she's on the hot seat for another opportunity at some point or another. That was awesome to watch. Rin did really good in her debut, though. You cannot discredit her at all. She did really good in her debut. It's just when you put yourself up against a world champion, you are bound to be outsmarted. That's just how things work. Now we got another championship match to go through, another ladder match, and another multi-competitor matchup. This time for the $1 million championship for Velocity. 4 competitors willing to put their bodies on the line in a ladder match. This is going to get very interesting, no doubt about it. We have Nyanners, who faced off against Gura for the longest time several months ago. She'll be taking on all of FeFe, which I cannot say enough about FeFe in the VWF. Her strikes, they were absolutely hurtful. If you were involved in any of her kicks, lights out. That's as honest as it can get. You take a shot from her with a kick, you are done. Done for. Completely done for. Badass. That's all I can say. She'll have a shot at the $1 million championship. Evie is having her first shot at the $1 million championship. A wild card, no doubt about that. She hasn't had much luck coming into tonight. All 4 competitors at least have had a shot at a title at one point or another, except for Evie, except for her. That's the only other person that has not had an opportunity for a championship yet. This will be her first time. On a pretty big opportunity for her nonetheless. And Snuffy is the $1 million champion heading into tonight, and she won it at Invasion in the Elimination Chamber, beating Shalon in the final two. Barely. I'd say barely. Because she has an opportunity to prove me wrong with that with a ladder match here tonight. Again, all you gotta really do is just be there at the right time. You gotta be part ultimate opportunist in this matchup in order to win a ladder match like this. After this, we have 2 more title matches left on the card. The World Championships for both Renegade and Velocity. Snuffy is heading into this matchup with her first title defense. And like I said before, all she has to do is just be there at the right time, and she'll successfully retain this title. We've had 1 title change all throughout tonight, which is the Women's Tag Team title that we just witnessed. Can we see another? We are 1-4-3 when it comes to these title matches, this one being our 4th title match of tonight. We can see a 2-for, a 2-for-2, or actually a 2-for-4, I should say. Who knows? Thank you, Wolf, for the hydrate and the posture check. The full-on care package here, I see. Good to see you in chat. It's probably the only time I'll be able to actually hydrate, as there's a lot more chaos ensue here. Like I said, we're only halfway through this entire event. And all we got left is for this $1 million title match, which we'll see in momentarily. And we got 1 more singles match. It really doesn't have to do with any titles or briefcases. And then after that, it's even more chaos from here, in my opinion. 2 triple threat matches for world titles, 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. Oh boy. I don't know how long this matchup's going to be, because the tag team title matchups take forever when you have 3 other competitors trying to get you down. But this is going to probably take just as long, if not even longer. Let's send it down the ringside. Fatal 4-way, $1 million title on the line. It's going to get interesting. Another ladder match here. 3 competitors have had a taste of gold in their past, or at least an opportunity for one. One of them is not. Nyanners has been one of them. She's had an opportunity for the gold at some point or another, albeit she usually faced off against Gura throughout that entire opportunity. But a big opportunity nonetheless for her right now. All she has to do is climb a ladder, grab the title, and it'll be hers once more. It's going to be interesting, though, to see how Ebi votes in this one, because, of course, it is her first title opportunity of tonight, as well as Snuffy, as it's her first title defense of her title reign. Will it be short-lived? Who knows? Like I said, we've had 1 title change tonight, which is the women's tag team titles. Went from NITRE to 4V. Tonight, we may have another title change in the $1 million championship. Or we may see most titles being retained tonight. Here comes one of the hardest hitting badasses in all of the VWF. If you think some of the strikes and some of the kicks that you've seen tonight have been hurtful, my God, you haven't seen shit yet. And it'll only get more and more intense as this girl heads into the ring for this contest. Now, granted, some of these kicks may not win her the match, because some of them win her the match by pinning or submitting. But objectively, it'll give you enough time for you to climb that ladder and grab that title. Like I said before, the competition in all of the VWF is quite stacked. 1 loss could be the end of your potential title contention for quite some time. Or, if you're Ebi in this case, you luck yourself into one and you have a shot to earn yourself some gold, even on a downhill spiral. Gonna get very interesting, though. Whoever walks out of this one, I don't think will be the same. All ladder matches tonight have seen some wacky stuff happen. This match may be no different. And thankfully, the only thing I will say, though, about this championship, at least it's not the world title, and at least you're not having to walk around with anxiety that you could get cashed in at any moment, which I'll talk about more as we get to the world titles later on. Gonna get very interesting, though. Here comes our champion for tonight, though. The $1 million title. Coming into tonight, Snuffy has held the title for quite some time, but will she be able to hang on to it for long? Won the thing at Elimination in the Elimination Chamber matchup at Invasion not too long ago. I say that, but it's been a little while. All she has to do tonight, she has to go through another specialty matchup, the ladder match. Hard to predict who's going to win this matchup because, again, in a ladder match, you can't predict it. You cannot. The way that you go about this match, you got to strategize like a motherfucker. In a tag team match, it's easier because you got somebody who could possibly defend your area on the ladder. You are facing off against 3 other opponents, and none of them are your friends in this matchup. You better hope that you're able to get some damage done to your opponents long enough for you to climb that ladder and get that title. All for millions of dollars in championship gold. Nyanners, FeFe, EB in her first attempt, and Snuffy in her first title defense. Chaos is underway. But only for the time being. Because you think this will be chaos? Wait till we get to the main event. And I think 4 people is going to be crazy and difficult to get anything done. Add in another 4. When will we see the ladder being introduced inside the ring? Right now? Not now. Stuffing to the outside. Maybe I should just shut my mouth. No, wait, nope. I'm going to keep my mouth open. I thought Snuffy was going to go for the ladder, and she did not. She's chopping right to the outside and popping back in every once in a while. Raccoon's got a strategy, that's all I got to say. Nyanners looking for some sort of offense. FeFe from the top. Oh! Snuffy ducked that, I believe. Oh. EB with another springboard move. Nearly connected with FeFe. Didn't get all of it. There's Snuffy with the ladder. And there's Nyanners with a ladder. Both ladders have been introduced. For the time being. Does anybody have a shot? Oh, EB's going to take one of the ladders out of the ring. Bye-bye. And there goes the other ladder. So never mind. Both ladders have fallen out of the ring. And bye-bye they go. Step up Hurricane Rana by Nyanners to Snuffy. Letting the 2 of them fight inside the ring. FeFe grabs a ladder on the outside. Step up in security. Oh. There's been 3 ladders, or 3 ladder attempts to be placed back inside the ring. And all 3 of them so far, they've all fallen almost outside the ring, if not completely fall outside. EB is not hitting that springboard move at all. My God, she tried that a second time. No, wait, no, that was actually, I think that was FeFe that tried. I don't think. No, that was EB that tried to hit it earlier and she missed. She's not having any luck with that springboard move, I can tell you that much. German suplex there by Nyanners. Maybe gonna try and grab that ladder, try to bring it actually inside the ring? Nope. Not yet. FeFe now with a German. Yep. On the top rope. That ladder's still hanging out right now. I'm keeping my eye on these four when it comes to them around the ladders, because you never know when one of them's going to be all like, all right, objectively, I got to go for the title. Oh, Snuffy, what a counter. Snuffy and FeFe working together. Temporary partnerships are a thing, and you'll see that quite a lot. Oh. There goes the ladder, finally. Outside of the ring. Oh, that knee right to the head. Maybe with a nice counter. Now she'll roll to the outside, maybe grab the ladder, and maybe we'll actually see something going on, objectively. Ladder used as a weapon, that is very, very common. He's going to make the move first. EB going up top. The tip top. Down she goes. EB may be very experienced in the ladder match, considering that is not exactly how you grab the title. That's not how it's usually supposed to be done, at least. FeFe has an opportunity now. Maybe not. All right, that happened. But the ladder goes FeFe once more. Never mind. Down she goes again. I know I said FeFe strikes are very hard-hitting and very, very dominant nonetheless, but I didn't say she was smart. The champion. Oh, barely got anything done objectively on that one. That got very close. Oh, that moonsault by Nyanners was very good, especially since it does more damage since you're on the ladder. Head first, right into the ground. I don't think that's very comfortable, especially if you are a raccoon. Tilt-a-whirl knee right to the back. Off the springboard once more, and around EB goes, and around she goes. Still she falls down. See if anybody makes any moves for the objective here so far. A lot of fighting going on. Very, very uncharacteristic between these matchups. Because all of the action that was going on in the tag team matchups were objective moves. They were all trying to get up into the titles. This one I'm not seeing that much. Not happening as often as I thought. Crossface chicken wing again. Snuffy goes to that, but that's not going to win her the match. Nyanners is tapping out. That would win her the match if it was that kind of contest, but it's not. It only does damage to your opponent, but not, by then, probably not even much. Standing dropkick by Snuffy to FeFe. A lot of these moves that take a lot of time to set up and dish out, it gives literally anybody, literally anybody else, a chance to grab that ladder, set it up, and just do something. But my oh my, nobody's really doing that. I mean, I guess I can understand it. I mean, they are fighting. Well, they got to go for the championship eventually, and I think Nyanners is seeing that opportunity right there. I say that, but here comes Snuffy as well, the champion. From top to bottom, there goes the cat. Bye-bye. Springboard DDT. Nice one. That connects. Oh, that was a big boot that also connected. Snuffy climbing. EB climbs. Snuffy do anything objectively here? I think she got it earlier. No, she did not. Nothing done there for the champion trying to retain. Now it's back to one-on-one inside the ring between FeFe and EB. Again, try to predict who's going to win this matchup because I couldn't even bother to try. Like, everybody's odds here are relatively even. At this point, it doesn't matter who you are. Your specialty match could be ladder match, and your odds are still the same as somebody that has never done a ladder match once in their life. VWF is so strange during the ladder matches. We've had some in the past. In fact, at Backlash, we had a couple ladder matches for $1 Million Championships, in fact. This is not the first time the $1 Million Championship has been determined in a ladder match. It is not the first, will not be the last, but man. The strategies that these four competitors are showing tonight, a lot different from the many others that we've seen compete in this type of match. Snuffy and FeFe now battling it out. One of them can get their opponent down for long enough a time, like that. Maybe there's an opportunity to get somewhere. Snuffy climbs up. FeFe's back to her feet, though. She's doing the smart thing. It's striking her down. Now FeFe will climb. The tip top. Again, I didn't say she was the smartest tool in the shed. You can't win a match by just jumping on your opponent from the top of the ladder. That's not really how that works. Snuffy sidesteps that springboard DDT. Still nothing there. Snuffy trying to do something objectively, but cannot get anything done. Oh, pile driver from FeFe. That was pretty good. Down goes Nyanners once more. Uh-oh. Oh, son of a bitch. Damn! Well, she's done. Momentarily, at least. God. Also, oh, no, not again. Oh, not again. Oh, Jesus. Evie somehow could come back and do something out of that. I'd be amazed. Nyanners takes down the ladder just to literally hit Snuffy with it, then reset it back up. Yeah. And misses a moonsault from the top of it. When will people learn that that is not very good? A 2-for-1 deal for Evie? Yes. That's how she'll take down both of her opponents from the top of the ladder. A shoulder tackle right to the other shoulder. And now there goes the ladder again, to the outside. We're back to square one. Snuffy to the top rope. FeFe with a springboard off. Don't know where that was going. Sidewalk slam. I think they literally, like, went underneath that ladder that EB put in. Speaking of her. Nothing there. Objectively, I really don't know if this match is gonna end anytime soon, to be honest. All right, cool. Does anybody climb that ladder? Nyanners has a chance to. And nope. Goes right at it with FeFe headfirst onto the mat. Nyanners all by herself, consciously at least. But the ladder's not in the right spot. There she goes. Now she's climbing up. Now she's grabbing it. Progress has been made, albeit not by much. Out of the ring goes Nyanners again. Head first onto the ladder. Snuffy doesn't really stay down for long. I mean, I guess I could kind of understand it. She is very resilient in a way. Nothing for the title. See anybody go over anywhere? Uh-oh. What does FeFe go for? Yeah, she missed. And Snuffy gets her with that little chop of the leg. That's the kind of thing you will find in this kind of matchup. Oh boy, Snuffy trying to get a 2-for-1. Oh, what a fall for both. Nyanners looking for something. Spike head first once again. Again on Snuffy. Standing boots up by Nyanners. That connects. Nyanners sets up the ladder. Will attempt to climb it. Still nothing out of that. It's just a free-for-all at this point for Nyanners. Ah, there she goes. Surprised she didn't land on her feet. She has a cap. Oh, I think she landed. I think FeFe landed leg first, right on the ladder. I think. All four battling still. Out of the ring goes Snuffy. Down goes everybody. They're all getting back up really quick. Oh, springboard drop kick. Knee across the head of FeFe. Out of the ring goes both EB and FeFe. Oh, right to the back. EB climbs to the ladder. Still nothing out of that, though. From the bottom rope, a moonsault. That was kind of nice to see. Oh, missed with that leg chop again. Snuffy likes to go for that move. Trying to knock down her opponent. Doesn't work that time. Standing moonsault. Springboard bulldog. That connects. Uh-oh. EB was one victim. Make it another one for Nyanners that time. Oh, knees to the head, FeFe. Neckbreaker, counter. And middle rope. Oh, but Snuffy's rolling out of the way. Middle rope, springboard, cross body, that connected. Springboard moonsault by FeFe, that connected. That was a good one. Down goes the ladder again. What's next? Oh, I thought she was going to lay on a ladder right there. That would have been detrimental. Snuffy to the top rope. Oh, FeFe just kicks out of the way. Into the corner. If you're going for a ladder, back in the ring goes one. Oh, right in the steps goes Nyanners. All four on the outside. They're trying to bring it back inside. Now goes FeFe. EB goes up, EB goes down. Oh, shit. Spanish fly by Nyanners. That was interesting. Shot to the head. Snuffy climbs. Nyanners is playing, like, very defensively on that ladder, by the way. She's trying to bring down her opponents. But she doesn't really do a good job at, like, actually trying to climb it herself. From what I've noticed. Up the ladder goes Snuffy. Still nothing there. Down goes Snuffy. German suplex there by Emi. Objectively, since nothing's really going on, it's hard for me to call what's going on. Nobody's really going for the ladder and actually trying to win the match. They're just trying to beat their opponent down. They really ain't doing much. His opponents are taking a beating. The most objective offense I've seen all day. It's not going to last long, though. Both competitors are down for now. FeFe getting back up. She'll climb. She'll try to get something going again. And nothing. Nyanners was able to get back into the thick of things. Snuffy goes back up again. Almost done objectively. Snuffy hasn't had any luck so far trying to get that title back in her possession. Nice little spine buster there. Snuffy and Emi are the only two in the ring. Emi tried to take her down. She does. TB going for now here. What's she going? Oh. Got the ropes. Stomp right to the head. And immediately up the ladder. I cannot tell what's going on, though. Now I can tell what's going on. Why the fuck did she do that? Now good luck trying to climb that ladder. Emi, this is your one and only possibly opportunity of the whole match to climb the ladder and get somewhere. But instead, she did that. And now all three competitors are back up on their feet. Unbelievable. It's not often you'll find all three of your competitors down and out for the count. Some of these people are not realizing that it's very smart to actually objectively go for the belt instead of attacking their opponent. All four competitors back inside the ring. It's only a matter of time before we see something happen again. There's a release Sherman. Nice little shot there. The ladder is set up, waiting for somebody to strike with ample opportunity. FeFe's up. Ooh, not for long, though. Sadly, not for long. Snuffy again going for that crossface chicken wing. Unfortunately, this does little to nothing. And now we're waiting. Miscommunication? I have no idea. I've seen it all so far. I have seen it all. Spinning heel kick. All right. Back out of the ring goes Nyanners. If he sets the ladder back up. Pile driver to Nyanners. Out of the ring goes Eby. Anybody got to take advantage? All right. Well, this is something. I thought I've seen it all at this point. Wow. All right. Snuffy with a chance to get the belt. She's got something objectively done. Oh, missed with the drop kick. Oh, what an overhead suplex. That was kind of cool. FeFe climbing. Oh. Oh, FeFe almost had something. Eby waiting for FeFe to do something. And there she goes. Oh, what a shot. Snuffy could retain. Nope. Something. We're almost done. Almost there. We're just nearing the end of this matchup, I feel. I hope. Oh, wow. What a cutter. Spiked head first. Down goes Snuffy again. In the corner. All right. Ladder falls outside of the ring once again. I've seen ladder matches go on long because of the amount of competitors, the amount of smart competitors. I'm not seeing that much at all here tonight. All for the $1 Million Championship. Remember that. Oh boy. Are you serious? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to announce that this matchup is officially going to a draw. This matchup's going to a draw. Ha. Time limit draw here in a ladder match. Who would have thought? Well, that is going to be the case here. It's unfortunate, man. Such a good match, too, but it is going to be a draw here for now. Snuffy will retain under the time limit draw. That's a good strategy by Snuffy, though, to hold off and hope her opponents were not smart enough for that. But Snuffy is the winner of the match, and she will retain the $1 Million Championship by the draw. Let's get another match underway here. We're very close to our main event here for tonight. Last singles match with nothing really on the line other than pride. Two superstars who are debuting here tonight. Both looking to make a big name for themselves, no doubt about that. We got Vinxfil taking on Moistcritical in a one-on-one matchup. Both competitors, of course, debuting here tonight for the VWF. Both competitors looking to make a big name for themselves. Going to be an incredible matchup, nonetheless, because all of our one-on-one matchups have been quite great Not gonna lie. So we'll be seeing what's gonna happen here. This final one-on-one match for tonight. All the other matchups will be multi-competitor. A lot of action still left on the table tonight. Two more two more World Championship matchups. And two more... We still got to figure out who's going to be the Money in the Banks for both Renegade and Velocity. We'll find out about that more in a little while. Like I said before, we still have one more matchup left with not really anything on the line. Out of the 4 championships that we've had defended here tonight, 2 of them have been retained by their their holder going into the match. So we'll see what happens in the World Championship matchups here in a few minutes. But first, we got to go through Vinxfil taking on Moistcritical in a one-on-one match. Both competitors, again, debuting here for the first time in the VWF. I'll see what they bring to the table. Let's bring it down to ringside for this matchup. I'm curious to see what each competitor brings to the table here tonight, especially since, again, it is their first time inside the squared circle. They're going to be fighting for the first time here tonight. We meet our first competitor debuting of tonight, Vinxfil. Going to be a great matchup nonetheless. 2 great competitors with great backgrounds nonetheless. All they got to do is just get through one another, and they'll be on the hot seat for something big here tonight. Moistcritical, by the way, it will be a part of the stable known as the Content Creators, which will also have not only PewDiePie that we saw earlier in the card. We also have, I should say, Tyler 1 and Markiplier still in the VWF roster. They are still a tag team, and they will still be competing for the tag team titles eventually. Moistcritical will join them as well. Vinxfil going solo, and he's looking to make a name for himself here tonight. Big opportunity nonetheless. He's got a lot of opportunities here in the VWF, especially if you are somebody who is debuting. Don't get me wrong. Both competitors are debuting. We've had a couple of good showies by debutees tonight. Unfortunately, one of them is going to be on the receiving end of a loss. And we'll see what happens here tonight with Charlie coming into the night. It's going to be very entertaining nonetheless to see what these two bring to the table. Maybe a future rivalry in the stakes. Who knows? I can't predict anything, but I'm going to probably predict that this might be one to watch if it does happen in the future. Our last one-on-one match for tonight, and then we head on to 2 world title matchups and 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. Vinxfil, Moistcritical, underway. Ooh, back and forth already to start things off, I see. Oh, we're back and forth in the beginning. Oh, Charlie with a springboard move. I've seen that pulled out multiple times tonight. Nonetheless, very good. Very good. Oh, Charlie's got Vinxfil right where he wants him. Critical with some shots. Kicks, a chop, another chop, an elbow to the head, already seeing color, kick to the shin, on the ropes, punch to the back, back on the ropes, punch to the back, off the ropes, down goes Vinxfil. And a stomp right to the shoulder. Critical's got dominance right now in this matchup. Absolute pure dominance. The kicks, the stomps, whatever you can name. Oh, right, even a knee to the shoulder as well. Oh, wait. Offense from Vinxfil. That's kind of rare to see right now. Oh, a knee wrenching on the spine. Submission hold. No. Critical fights out, and he'll go back on top. Sling blade by Critical. And a drop kick as well. Nice combination right there. And again, back to the shoulder. Wearing out Vinxfil. Shot to the spine. Wait. Vinxfil back on offense. Side slam. Taking his sweet time. Going to the top rope. High risk, high reward. Even more high risk if he's alive and awake. Up and over. Crossbody. Didn't get all of it. Still on offense. There's the power. Oh, what a throw. And now, working on Critical's arm. Oh, what a stomp. Undercut. Miss with the elbow. Size, the height. Difference, a big difference here. Oh! That was very interesting nonetheless. Head first onto the floor. Vinxfil with a cover. First of this match. He will get a 2. He will almost get a 3, but no more than a 2. Good matchup here. Oh, Critical with a reversal, and he's back on offense. Oh, the miss with the springboard. High risk. And that's why they call it high risk. The kick to the stomach, that'll put Critical back on offense. The elbow. Taking a lot of damage right now. Both elbows on Vinxfil taking a lot of damage. Oh, a kick right to the underside of the arm. Oh, back on offense. Off the ropes. Over the top. Down to the floor. Holy moly. Elbow drop to the outside. Big DDT. Couple shots, couple strikes. They're fighting all over the goddamn place right now. Right in front of the announcer's table. Not in front of me, though. I am far from this. Sunset flip on the outside. Referee's out of 4. Counts to 10. They'll be counted out. Critical back inside. Outside of 5. Dazed and confused. Comes back to his senses. Oh, back outside they go. Interesting strategy by Critical. Trying to get more damage done on the outside. But that's the lead. But that immediately paid. He immediately paid the price. Wow. Back inside the ring. Who will get the next jump? Oh. Oh. Inverted atomic drop by Vinxfil. The shots, the kicks, they keep on coming. Critical with a counter. Critical from the back. Critical with a neck breaker. But Vin not staying down for long. Oh. Salida del Sol. Critical may have his number. And it's a... No! Almost a 3. You can't get any closer than that. Oh, what a headbutt. The counter. Oh. Bear hug spinebuster. And the cover. 2 right there. No more than that. Definitely not more than a slight 2 right there. Stomp right onto the shoulder. Make it a second one. Oh, off the ropes. And a big splash. Goes forward again and hits it again. Trying to wear out that chest of Critical. Nice strategy here, but can he keep at it? Can he keep at it? Goes back. Oh, that front face DDT. Front face like DDT. Can that be it? That's a 2. That is a 3. Vinxfil wins his debut. Unbelievable showing. Both competitors. I don't care if Critical was on the loose again. Both competitors showed a great deal of offense, and that was awesome by both competitors. The spine buster that did not work, but almost had him right there. Very close right there. And then the front face lock DDT takes Critical out completely. How can you stop this man? What a win. Wow. Back and forth as all hell. Probably one of the best matches I've seen all throughout tonight. Definitely a lot better than that stupid-ass $1 million championship match that I just saw witness. What a match. Great showing between these two. Absolutely incredible performance between both Vinxfil and Critical. You couldn't ask for a better matchup out of those two. Unbelievable stuff. All of that to set us up for what is going to be, story-wise, 4 important matchups here for the VWF. Well, it is time. Done with all the other stuff. We are hitting the biggest, and I mean the biggest, parts of tonight's Super Show. VWF Men's World Championship is on the line. A vacated VWF World Championship on the line. The top 3 contenders into this matchup are fighting in a ladder match to determine the world champion moving forward. At least as of this moment. I say that because you look at what they also have to deal with at the main event. They are far from it, in fact. Because they still have to worry about that Money in the Bank ladder match that is just around the corner. I'm hoping the other 2 ladder matches are at least bearable. Maybe 4 is the number that is not the right number for a ladder match. Maybe it's supposed to be 8 or 6 or above. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully this triple threat ladder match, the 2 that we're about to witness, aren't as stupid as what we witnessed earlier in the $1 Million Championship match. That went to a time limit. Let's set the story straight here for this upcoming ladder match, ladies and gentlemen. A triple threat ladder match between the top 3 contenders, Malcolm, Kuzuha, and Yagoo, all competing for the World Championship of Renegade. If they got stuff to worry about, they got to worry about each other for now. But right after that match, they have to worry about what's about to happen in the Money in the Bank ladder match not too far in the future. It's going to be hard to top what we just witnessed here between both Vinxfil and Critical. It's going to be hard to top that, but for the World Championship, we'll see what happens here. It is going to be quite difficult. It's going to be quite difficult to tell who's going to be coming out of this matchup as the champion. Set it down the ringside real quick. This matchup is going to be quite interesting nonetheless for the World Championship. For the World Championship. 3 competitors who are at the top of Renegade right now. All they have to do is do what a lot of others have done tonight when it comes to a ladder. This is going to get very interesting. I have no doubt about that. Witnessing the 2 contenders coming down to the ring, all we got left is to determine if the champion can once again prevail in these kinds of matchups. Oh, it's going to get very interesting. You know the history between Malcolm, Yagoo, and Kuzuha. All of them together have put on exceptional matchups here throughout the entirety of the VWF's lifespan. But once again, like I said before, the VWF Men's World Championship is currently vacated. There is nobody coming into this matchup as the champion. Nobody has the advantage in this matchup. There will be no time limit draw in this matchup. It goes to whoever can touch the gold the last. This is going to get very interesting because these three competitors are championship material, world championship material. And it's going to take a lot for these three to stay down long enough for one of their opponents to grab that title. The number one contender in this matchup is technically the world champion. He will be listed as a world champion because he is a number one contender, but he is not the world champion. He is a number one contender for that title. It's going to get very, very hectic here, no doubt about it. I don't know how else to explain this. This is a very important matchup. Probably more important than the Women's World Championship matchup. No offense to those three that are in that matchup. Things are going to get quite extreme here in this matchup. Things are going to get quite hairy as well. Three superstars who are very, very, very ready for World Championship gold in their life. All they got to do, grab that title from the top of the ring. Grab that brass ring and it'll be theirs. World Championship is on the line. It can't get any bigger. It can't get any more important. It can't get any more exciting than this. And here comes the number one contender, the one that wants to earn this shot, the title, the most. You know it for a fact that Malcolm is coming into this match willing to do anything to get that title. All he has to do is defeat two of his most challenging opponents yet. It's going to get very... This is... I am so interested right now, like, if you can't tell. Malcolm's done all he can to get a World Championship opportunity, and he has a shot right now. Probably not the last time you'll see him in the World Championship hunt either. Again, I mean, you gotta think about the place that Malcolm is in right now. Number one contender. If Ritaka was still in the VWF, he would really be at a better spot than where he is right now, having to deal with two other opponents. He would only have to deal with one. That was the original story going forward. But instead of a one-on-one, it is a triple threat for the World Championship for Renegade. It doesn't get any bigger than this. Kuzuha, Yagoo, and the number one contender, Malcolm Bell. Triple threat ladder match underway. World title on the line. Let's see what goes on in this matchup, because it's probably going to get very interesting. Now, unlike a Fatal 4-Way, I don't think this is going to be as chaotic. I mean, really, it's just going to be a lot of... It's just going to be a lot of this It's going to be a one-on-one match with the other competitor taking his time to let the other two do their thing. They'll go back and forth many times. Yes, they will. That was not going to work no matter how. Could have been a double team right there, though. Once the first ladder gets introduced, all hell breaks loose. But I don't think they're worried so much about the ladder part of this matchup just quite yet. Because here's the thing, all three of these people do want the title belts, yes, but you know that all three of these have had the absolute most history together. All three have had a shot at the World Championship at once or twice, maybe a couple times before. You know that right now they just want to beat the living hell out of each other before they even try anything with a ladder. Yagoo's right next to that. I think he was waiting for the right time, and he's got it. RKO by Kuzuha to Malcolm. He already strikes quick. Oh, Yagoo allowing Kuzuha to take the ladder for now. Might be some mind games going on between Yagoo and Kuzuha. These two, history, lots of it. Out of the ring goes Kuzuha, but not out yet. Now he's completely out. The height differences between all three of these competitors is almost slim to none, but you know with how tall they are, they can easily reach... Oh! Well, assuming that the ladder stays in place, of course. A punch, a strike, a punch, a strike. A standing dropkick by Malcolm. Kuzuha buying his time in and out of the ring. I used to think that having one ladder in the ring was fine enough, but you know what? You never know what's going to happen in these matchups. Two of them, I would recommend. In case one falls out, you have one more to spare. Oh, Malcolm almost picked up the ladder and put it right in the dead center of the ring. Did not work. Kuzuha back on offense, though, on that front. Kuzuha, a little bit of color. I mean, he's already got some red on him, but now he's got red on the face. Right now, it doesn't look like objectively this match will take forever, but with them beating the hell out of each other, I wouldn't be surprised if this match goes as... Oh my god, what a move. Yagoo's head bounced off that ladder, by the way. Granted, his entire body did too, but it was literally the entire fucking body, but that head. Ow. Kuzuha realizing, challenger getting up. Toying with him right now. Again, I don't expect them to objectively go for anything at the very moment, at the very least. Especially since everybody's still pretty fresh. Big elbow drop there. Big shot. Malcolm with some opportunity. Here's a waiting, down. Nice shot there. Kuzuha rolls out. That'll mean that there will be a lot of time for one of these competitors when both competitors are spent. Like I said, right now, probably not for the time being. It'll be that way. Both ladders are about to fall out of the ring. They are completely crossed up, so gravity's got to take its course right now. Physics and gravity's got to take its course. Drop kick by Malcolm. One of them falls out. It's going to fall right out to where Kuzuha is standing, which would be perfect. Oh, tried to go for the kill switch. Didn't work. Oh, flying elbow by Yagoo. Yagoo and Kuzuha about to square off. There goes the ladders. Malcolm tried to bring one out too. Now that's even better strategy too. I didn't even realize that both competitors could probably fight on the outside. Granted, I don't think they'll probably stay out for too long. It'll give opportunity for somebody to objectively get somewhere. Especially if they're pretty distracted out there, too. Oh, Malcolm almost had it. Oh, there he goes. He's starting. There we go. Yagoo trying to push. He can't. Malcolm trying to do something. Malcolm! Malcolm! The strength of these two. Yagoo can't shove them off. But damn, they're trying. He's trying. Down goes Malcolm. Kuzuha. Now down he goes. It's funny because, like, as soon as Malcolm fell, Kuzuha also got tipped over. The weight of these two competitors on top of the ladder, it's going to mean it's going to be harder for the other one to tip it over, which was, like, a very big thing that we saw in the other matchups. Malcolm sliding out of the ring, avoiding disaster for himself. Not bad. Objectively, we're halfway through this match already. Correction on the back. It's a damage being dealt with right now. Oh. Here's a hot with Yagoo in the middle of the rope. Spike DDT. Out of the ring goes Yagoo. Oh, and oh, Malcolm. Hard fall to the outside. He landed on not one, but two ladders that were stacked on top of each other. All three are out of the ring, which is very surprising. Didn't expect this. Oh, that had to hurt right on the ladder. Speaking of that, now it's being slid back inside the ring. Not for long. That ladder on the inside of the ring is not being toyed with at all. I'm not... I usually would say I'm surprised that they're not fighting each other. Or they're not going for the title belt. But no, I mean, like, this... I expected this. All three of these competitors, like, despise each other. This is what I expected. The world title may be on the line, but my God, when will be the next time these three meet up with each other and try to beat the hell out of each other? This won't be happening very often anymore. DDT on the outside. Yagoo's all by himself, but he's having a hard time with two ladders right next to each other inside the ring. Yagoo and Malcolm are just beating the hell out of each other. They don't care about Yagoo being inside the ring, and Yagoo knows. Gonna do something here. All right, now they're all three battling. This is getting very physical. Oh my God. Keep in mind, though, this is on the floor, so all of this is hurting, like, a lot more than you think. Back in the ring goes Kuzuha. Probably a mistake, too. Because this means that Kuzuha could easily just climb a ladder. But again, I don't blame him for wanting to fight. It's too early in the match to really be all like, yeah, let's end it. They want to fight. Yagoo's saying, all right, I'm done climbing. RKO by Kuzuha, and that was smart. Whoa. 2-for-1 deal. That knocked down Yagoo. Make it a second one to Malcolm. And into the corner goes Yagoo. Kuzuha staring at that. Oh, that would have been deadly. Oh, just waiting for the right time for the ladder to come back down. Land Kuzuha right ass first onto the ladder. I can't tell you who's going to win this matchup. It's going to be very, very, very close. They want the world title, sure, but man, do they want to beat the hell out of each other. That's what the VWF's all about. Knee right to the sternum. Malcolm's done a lot so far in this matchup objectively. But physically, he's taken a fuck ton of punishment. Ooh. He's going back up. He's had success earlier. Oh, he had some success there. But once again, Yagoo cannot be the one that brings him down. Instead, it was Kuzuha that brings him down. Oh, Yagoo not going outside. He stopped himself right at the last possible second. That was a smart move. Forearm across the head for from Kuzuha onto Yagoo. Then the stomps. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty when it comes to this matchup. Wrenching on the back, making it hard for Yagoo to climb. Try climbing a ladder with a bad back. It's not very fun. Especially when your legs are crossed up like that. Smart move, too, by Kuzuha, because Malcolm is on the outside. He doesn't have to worry about him for now. Kuzuha's going up top. This may be it. This may be it. They have to be quick on this exchange. They want to get him. If they want to win this match. This may be it. This may be it. This may be it. It is. Kuzuha's the winner. Kuzuha's the world champion. Two-time VWF Men's World Champion.
Here is your winner and new Eastern Dragon Total Undisputed World Champion, Sub-Zero.
Incredible. That was a match. All for the world title. Whew. That was for one world title. We have one more left to go. It's gonna get very interesting, though. Because now we got to deal with two debuting superstars once more. BWF Women's World Championship on the line this time, as Rissa will be debuting alongside Suzuki, going up against the current world champion Kuroba Plant, who won this title belt not too long ago. And will be able to hopefully successfully defend this title once more. She's been very good at successfully defending this title, not gonna lie. She successfully defended it at Invasion. A great matchup. But now she'll have to face off against two new opponents that she's never competed against before in another ladder match. All for the World Championship. So far, in all of the world title, or all of the championship matchups that we've had, all with the exception of two, have been defended. The Men's Tag Team Championship was successfully retained. The TV Championship was successfully retained. The $1 Million Championship was successfully retained. But the Men's World Championship and the Women's Tag Team Championships were changed hands. Have changed hands, I should say. Could the fate be the same for Kuroba Plant, who comes into this matchup really needing something big to happen for her? Things are going to get very interesting here. BWF Women's World Championship on the line. Triple threat ladder match. 2 out of the 3 competitors debuting. Here is one of them. Suzuki coming in tonight. Confident as ever. Again, for the World Championship. I mean, there is no better way to debut than this. The debut in the World Championship match with an opportunity to start on top. There ain't no other way to do it. There ain't no better way to debut than that. You're debuting on top. But it's not just Suzuki that has that chance, but also her other opponent debuting here tonight. Coming into this match, probably the more hardcore fighters in all of the VWF. There is really no better way to come out on top than to come out on top. Especially in a ladder match like this. This is going to be really fun. I don't know what kind of movesets both these two have. I don't think our champion knows either. Champion's coming in at one hell of a disadvantage. The person trying to spoil these debuts is our current VWF Women's World Champion. There is no better way to come out on top than to spoil the debuts of two very big up-and-comers. What kind of mindset does Kuroba walk into tonight? What kind of mindset does she have? Does she feel confident? As a champion, you probably got to be. You got no other choice but to feel confident. She's taken on all comers in her lifetime. She's taken on Hana. She's taken on Nyanners. All of them have come and gone. Two new ones to step up to the plate. And as a pitcher in this situation, you got to make them strike out. And this is the best way to do so. Size advantage. One of the tallest competitors in all of the VWF. There goes my controller. One of the tallest competitors in all of the VWF going up against two of the, possibly one of the smallest and possibly one of the, I don't even want to say, like, I think Suzuki's right in the middle in terms of height. But Rissa, I think that Rissa and Rin both could battle for the shortest competitor in the VWF at this point. It's going to be very, very, very intense to see what's going to happen in this matchup. World Championship on the line. There is no higher stakes. The biggest discussion in all of the Money in the Bank Super Show today has been the debuts. We are not done with the debuts yet, but we are at the point where this is the biggest debuts yet. Women's Championship on the line. Suzuki, Rissa, going up against the current defending champion, Plant. A 2-on-1 situation to start things off. Did I expect any different? Now the two newcomers going against each other. We saw the other World Championship matchup just moments ago. There was a very quick matchup once the ladders were introduced, but again, what is the strategy for these three competitors? Do they want to fight, or do they want to go for the gold? Plant taking it to the both of them right now. On the middle rope. Flying nothing gets nothing. Out of the ring goes Plant. Forcefully out to get a ladder. Oh. Oh, a slap from Suzuki to the outside. On the outside. A knee right to the shoulder. Plant the only one standing tall inside the ring, letting the two newcomers fight it out. Great strategy. Absolute bold strategy, too. I didn't expect any different from the champion. Listen, look at them two right now on the outside, just killing each other and hurting each other like there's no tomorrow. Look at what the champion's doing. You know that right now this is the best thing that the champion's got going for them right now. Showcasing the good moves too. Look at the standing suplex. Very delayed vertical suplex. But this is not a triple threat match with pinfalls or submission. This is a ladder match. There is no ladder objectively in the ring. There is nothing. Plant could realistically go and grab a ladder and, like, I think she would have won the match by now. But I think it would be... Oh, I think that's what she's doing right now. I think she's saying it's time. But I think the reason why she hasn't... I mean, you know that the moment they see it going on inside the ring, that they can lose, they're going to immediately go and turn right to her attention. Smart. I mean, that's very smart. Look at Plant. Look at Plant. Smart. The IQ of a champion. But the challengers have returned. Objectively, a great way to start the match for Kuroba, especially because she hasn't had much damage done to her. Now Kuroba taking the opportunity to slide out, let the two newcomers fight it out again. Oh, what a suplex. I think that's one of the best suplexes I've seen. Oh, what a shot by Plant. Springboard, you know that she's got to use that to her arsenal quite a bit. Stomp to the arm. Another one, trying to take out some of that striking power. 3 times. Oh, missed with the kick. Rissa's got the champion right where she wants her. The snake eyes into the corner. Down she goes. The shot to the sternum. Surprisingly, Suzuki's a lot smaller than I thought she was. I thought she would have been like at least a little taller than what she is right now, but I guess not. Big Bulldog. Takes down the champion. Oh, missed with the drop kick. Instead, gets a stomp to the chest for her efforts. The champion's also got a very big height advantage when it comes to grabbing the title, actually, as we saw earlier. Now, the two newcomers double team on the champion. Wow. Out of the ring. Once more goes Suzuki. Oh. Back suplex. Oh. Rissa rolling the outside. Try to recover. Smart. Nice ring awareness by her to roll to the outside, which she needs to. Snake eyes to the corner once more. Now Suzuki with the advantage. Still going for the attack. Oh, what a counter by the champion. Missed with the chop. Big RKO. Plant hits the RKO. It hits a moonsault as well. What's Rissa got now? Oh, underhook DDT. Nice. They're going for the damage, it looks like. None of them are going for the ladder. Could be because it is kind of stuck. I think Suzuki's going for the ladder on the outside. No. Smart strategy here by Plant. Let the two of them fight it out once more like they've done before. Oh, counter on the inside. Bam! What an inverted DDT there by Rissa. None of them going for the ladder right now. They might be trying to do what the last matchup strategy, like the last 3 did. They want to damage each other, do damage control, and then try to attack objectively later. What's she going for now? Bam! That'll knock her right out. She gets up, though. Speaking of getting up, there's her champion. Oh, I think I know what's going on. I think the ladder may actually be stuck. There's the other ladder coming into play, finally. Oh. Oh. There's a ladder as a weapon. Swinging neckbreaker. And a swinging elbow drop. Missed with the springboard drop kick. Oh. Attacking the legs. Nice, nice, nice. We get a little bit of the arms. Oh. Nice little GTS move there. Rissa with the advantage. Nice little spine buster there. Takes her down. The only one going up the ladder so far. Well, now as soon as I say that, Rissa goes to the top. He tries to win it. She has an opportunity. Both competitors down. She may get it. She may get it. She may get it. She may get it. What a way to start on top if she gets it. She can get it. Rissa wins. She did it. Rissa wins. Whoa. Both world championships got newcomers as champions. Oh my god. Wow.
Here is your winner and new Women's World Undisputed Champion.
Unbelievable. No way did that just happen. No way. We just witnessed title changes for both world titles happening just like that. Unbelievable stuff right there. Wow. But we aren't done yet. We have 2 more main events left to go. We still have 2 more matches left, 2 more ladder matches left, and this, my friends, is possibly the most important. This is as important. This cannot be topped. This could alter the course of what we now know as our world champions right now. We're about to find out who will be Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. For those unaware of what that concept may entail, 8 competitors walk into this matchup. Taka, Semasen, Lumen, Ash, Frey, Shreddy, Reki, who's making his debut, and Fu, who won that triple threat match on YouTube with Shoto and Simu against those 2 to get into this matchup. One of those 8 competitors will have a briefcase in hand, and at any given moment, it could be on Renegade, it could be at a Renegade Super Show, it could be at a Super Show this caliber. They will have an opportunity to challenge for the World Championship, at any given moment. In the middle of a match, at the end of a match, or they could immediately use it to announce their way to have a nice fair fight, a fair fight indeed, at the World Championship. One of these 8 competitors is a future world champion in the making. if done correctly. My strategy as a Money in the Bank holder, I'm not one of them. I haven't been one of them yet. My strategy would be you get them when they are down, right at the end of a match. That's the strategy that I would pull for. But I am not one of these 8 competitors at all. 8 competitors looking to make themselves known as world champions. This is going to get insane. Things are only getting better right now. No title belts on the line, but that doesn't mean that these 2 matchups are as important as a world championship match. 8 competitors are walking into this matchup with one opportunity to have gold around their waist. All they got to do, climb a ladder, grab the briefcase, and they will become Mr. Money in the Bank. Not only that, but that'll also be the case for the 8 female participants in the other Money in the Bank ladder match just minutes away. It could literally turn your life upside down in the VWF. It's going to get very, very, very intense between these 8 competitors. I don't know what else to say.